Okay. All right. We are live. So I'm gonna wait a few minutes for people to come on. I have okay, we got a couple already. So I'll give it a couple more minutes. Um I got the topic I'm doing today is issues about interracial relationships, interracial dating and marriage. Some of the stuff that you will come across when you interracially date, when you're in an interracial marriage. And, you know, some people deal with it at a higher level than others. You know, some people can get through the issues a lot easier than other people can. Some people are dealing with some traumatic situations they dealt with in their life. Some people have more hurt, you might say. And some people come from different parts of the country where interracial dating is more acceptable. Interracial relationships, you know, is more acceptable in certain parts than others. In some places, not so much. Okay. Interracial relationships is growing. Interracial marriage, it's going up every day. It's it's not slowing down. More and more people are doing it. It's more and more acceptable in today's world, okay, than it was 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years ago. And then beyond that, it's really hard to have an interracial relationship. We had those of us that did it back in the day, well, before my time, had the belong to what we call a secret swirl society. That's oh, thanks. Thought I'd change it up here. Um, I'm trying to improve my studio area, give you guys a better look when I go live. Um, Put some shelves, some of my collectibles, got them out of the way off the desk. Trying to tighten it up a bit, give it a more, nicer background, nicer look. Um, and threw this jacket on, give a little bit of a professional look. The jerseys are nice, but I like to change it up a bit. But thanks for the compliment on the jacket. Um, but anyway, and the reason I came up with this topic today, guys, is I got a request, got a comment. Somebody asked me to please, will I talk about the issues, fetishization, racism when dating interracially. Okay. I do talk about those things. I try not to harp on them too much because I like to keep it positive. I like to, yeah, Miami vibes. I like to keep it positive. We do have to touch the negative at times. And, I try to do it as minimal as possible. Okay, I could go in on white men for fetishizing and racism and all that stuff. Okay, it does exist, but I don't want to make my whole show about that. Okay, I want to show the positive outlook on interracial relationships because newsflash, not all of us white guys are racist. Newsflash, a lot of us white guys love black women, as I do. And I ain't ashamed to say it. I'm proud of it, Um, so we can have a positive, blessed interracial relationship. We can, and but there are some things, there are issues when you interracially date and marry. There sure is. Some people deal with them differently than others. Some people get through them a lot easier than others. I think me and my wife, talking about this, I think we got through our issues a lot easier than other interracial couples because of where we live. It's more acceptable. My wife's been around white people most of her life. She grew up in a white neighborhood, white community. Okay. Yeah, I was the first white guy she dated, but it was easier for her to, have a relationship with me because of the community and environment she was in. Now, if she came from a majority black neighborhood, there might be some issues. She might not know what people are like. And it goes vice versa, black and white. A lot of times we got so many stereotypes about each other, we don't even know each other, you know? And when you come into an interracial relationship, you got to be ready for it. You got to want it. You got to be all in to each other. And some people say when you interracially date, you got to have that talk. You got to talk about racism and all this stuff. And yeah, you can have that talk. And there's a time and place for it. But, you don't want to carry all your hurt into it. You know what I mean? And I'm not trying to be mean, but, we all deal with certain things that hurt us. And I know black women deal with some stuff I don't really understand. And you got to understand, if you're dating a white guy, he ain't going to understand a lot of stuff you're talking about. That don't mean he don't care. He just don't know. And, us as white guys, we got to be understanding. We need to take it as fact and not try to write it off because we don't experience it. But you don't want to make that part of your life, everyday life, And once you find out that he's not a racist and a fetishizer, go on with your life as a married couple and love each other. Sometimes people get so into this, they want me to talk about it all the time, and I'm not. We know it exists, but we need to focus on the positive also, okay? There's so much negative that's thrown at you. And when we talk about negative, if we go too far into it, we can destroy a blessing we might have. So that's why I'm talking about this, okay? And truth be told, when it comes to marriage, black women and white men have a 40% more success rate than our counterparts. Becky and Tyrone, Brad and Keisha are doing better than that. And it's not that they're better people, they're just going about it in a better way. That's how I feel. I think that's why the stats reflect it. Okay. And, when it comes to black women, truth be told, even though we're racist and big fetishizers, marriage with a white man, if you're a black woman, is more successful than with a black man. Okay. And why is that? Maybe the way we go about things. It's a cultural thing. Black women and white men, a lot of us come together well and we do good together. We make good choices. Now, is that all of us? No. I mean, there's failure across the board. There's success across the board too. Hey, white guy from Jersey, good to see you, brother. Just say hello to everybody. Natasha 75, Deanna Barnes, Ms. Lady, good to see you. Thelma, Talisha, KP, CC, Michelle, good to see you. I think I got everybody. And NW, good to see you guys. Thank you for joining. I'm going to show you guys a video, and this is going to be a fun video. Okay. Now, when you're interracially dating in marriage, I've been married for 28 years to my black wife. There's been issues, yes. But we can get through it because we truly love each other. Love conquers all, and love will beat down the haters, the stereotypes, the generalizations, and any issues we have. Okay, if you're truly in love, you don't have to worry about the fetishization, the racism, all the stuff that people ask me, how, and ladies have asked me, how do we know if the white guy's not, if he's racist or not? How do we know if he's going to fetishize us? How do we, you can't really tell unless you can mind read, but when you have that friendly date where you go have lunch or whatever, talk to the man and get to know him. Okay. Usually if you let a man talk, ladies, and have him tell about himself, have him, introduce you to his family, find out what he's about, find out, you can find out if he's fetishizing you. If he wants to go to the bedroom right away, kick him to the curb and don't look back. Okay. And when you first meet, it should be getting to know you. You start out at the friendship level. Okay. The intimacy comes way later in the relationship if you're doing it right. And if he truly cares about you, he will wait. And if he won't, you need to get rid of him. Yeah. Get the thumbs up. Yeah. Thanks, Thelma. But you start out friendship. You're courting, ladies, gentlemen. You're courting each other. You're getting to know each other. You want to find out about their personality. What are their interests? How do they feel about family, God, religion, children? Hey, Moonchild, good to see you. And J9, good to see you also. And designer, Claudia Bliza, good to see you. T.R. Robinson. But the dating is the friendship phase. This is where you just get to know each other. There's no ties. You're not, this is just meeting. You develop the friendship first. And then when you find the chemistry's working, then you start dating, and then you get more into depth. But you need to do it in increments, really do, because you need to get to know who you're with. And especially if you're looking for marriage, because you're going to have to spend, marriage is supposed to be forever, right? So you don't want to link up with somebody that don't have your best interest in mind. You want to be with someone. Oh, you missed last night's. Oh, no worries. I mean, there's always a replay, J9. But, and when you do that, look, interracial relationships, especially black and white, you're going to have issues. Okay. We see things through different lenses. Okay. And most white guys ain't going to understand you, ladies. Most white guys, interracial dating's new to them too. They're stepping out of their comfort zone. Okay. And you just need to get to know each other. And see where it goes from there. And when you have the talk about the racism and fetishization and all that stuff, get to know each other, and when you can really trust them, then you have that talk. And you love each other, that talk's going to be, you're going to find out he's not what you're worried about. And then, he's going to find out that you love him for who he is and you trust him. You don't think he's some monster. Okay, that's the goal we want to get to, right? Yes, there are issues. There's a lot of stereotypes. Okay, there's a lot of barriers. There's a lot of haters out there. What if you met online for the first date and he wants to go park or bowling? Well, you can do that. You can. I haven't done it that way, Moonchild, but you can meet someone online. But I would say be cautious, be careful. And if you meet somewhere, I would say have a chaperone type date so you know who this person is and explain to them, look, I don't know you. There's a lot of crazy people out there. I got to get to know you before I could trust you. And that's how you have to be. I would think that would be the best thing to do. Because online dating, I heard it's a good way to meet. And, people said they found their husbands and wives doing it. Some people say it's not a good idea. I guess it depends on you and, how you go about it. You just be cautious. Find out those dating sites that are more safer, the better ones. I don't know what they are. I've never online dated. But yeah, you can meet people through that. Just be careful. But you got to be careful meeting somebody in the grocery store too. You got to get to know them. I think bowling should be the fifth day. Well, that's up to you. I mean, and you know what? A date in a public place is a good place to date because it's safe. There's people around. You don't want to go hang out with the guy, go park the car in Lover's Lane on the first date, right? You don't know what he's going to try. And, I mean, but like in a bowling alley, somewhere where there's people around, and ladies, you got to think about your safety too, not going for coffee or the park on the first date. Yeah. And have some standards. And Moonchild, it seems like, you got some standards and that's good. And take it slow. Make sure this is the one. Okay. And that's a good example, ladies. Have, first date, we're going to talk. Second date, we might meet up and have lunch. Third or fourth date, maybe bowling or something like that. Yeah, that's a good idea. You have a plan and you should. And then you see if he's interested. If you're just having fun getting to know each other, and if he's looking for the quick experience, you're taking your time, you're going to run him off because he don't want to wait, So that's a good idea also. But if he cares for you, he's going to keep coming back. When I was dating my wife, I couldn't get enough of my wife. I had to see her every time I had time off. And I was working 2-3 jobs at the time, and I made time. And we didn't just hit it off and get intimate right off the bat. We got to know each other, friendship, and that's how you should do it. Oh, I'm sorry. Had to purge after listening to some people here, and I had done. I'm sorry to hear that. Yeah. Sometimes we get different opinions. Sometimes, people are so passionate they get crazy. But you guys are always welcome here, and I know some people unsubscribe and subscribe, and and I guess that's just how YouTube is. But I want it to be a nice place and a fun place to be. That we could come together and talk and stuff. Take me out for dinner at a quiet restaurant where we can talk. Yeah. Okay. So some dating tips by Moonchild. But seriously, okay. The bottom line is, and here's the goal. If you're okay with dating, open up your options, dating outside your race. Just be aware. You come from different communities, a different culture. You see things different than the other person. Okay. And get to know him, understand why he thinks the way he does. And guys, same thing, why she thinks the way she does. There's that barrier. You got to be patient and understanding. And I would tell the guys, especially dating Black women, you don't know what she's been through. You don't know her community. And she tells you something, listen, have that ear open. And ladies, just understand, he don't know what you've gone through. Okay. He don't know. It don't mean he don't care. It means he just don't know. And that's the case a lot of times. And a lot of times relationships will end because people don't understand each other, especially interracially. You might say you hate dealing with racism at work, and he might say, you know what? I don't see racism. I don't know what you're talking about. Just understand you're looking at things through a different lens. You live in different places. Okay. What you see, he might not see. Um, and he should listen to you and be patient with him because he don't know. And a lot of times it ends before it gets started because we're so worried. Um, you know, you have, and I'm generally speaking, okay. I don't know, but this is what I think. I don't want to offend nobody, but I think black women are coming in and they've been hurt and they expect the man they're with to understand and they want him to acknowledge it. Okay. And a lot of times he don't understand. So it might seem like he don't care or not interested. He just might not understand what you're talking about. Okay. And a lot of times, you know, he might think you're just complaining and he shouldn't think that. But that's barriers we have. Um, but would you say that most white guys want to date black women but don't? I would say so. Yeah. There's a lot of white men that want to date black women. I've talked to them. They do. They don't know how to approach. Here's the thing. And what I always tell them is approach. Well, how do I do that? Approach. Well, what I say to her, just talk to her. Let her know you're interested. Go with love and respect. Be respectful. It's okay to say she's beautiful, or and you could compliment her on her hair or how she carries herself, but be professional about it. Don't comment on her body parts, but just telling her she's beautiful and just do it. Okay, there's no right or wrong way. Okay, well, there is a wrong way. You could go and say wrong things, but what I'm saying is just be yourself and do it. Like the Nike commercial, just do it. Just do it. I tell them, just shut up and do it. Talk to her. And that way you won't be wondering. And if she rejects you and you move forward. You talk to somebody else that might be interested in you. That's how that works. Know what I'm saying? Yeah. But all right. Moonchild says, thank you, Thelma Andrews. All right. And I want to thank you too, Thelma, and everybody here. But listen, guys, there's going to be barriers, okay? And if you have a lot of hurt, ladies, and you're unsure, don't do it. Don't get in a relationship. Is there some pain? Heal first before you jump into an interracial relationship, okay? Because if you go in with hurt and pain and stuff you're dealing with, that's not going to be good for you or him. And it might take therapy, and there's nothing wrong with therapy. Look, when I came out of the army after 20 years and being in Iraq and stuff, I had some issues I had to deal with. There were some horrible things that happened, and I'm not going to go into that because I'll get all emotional and crazy, but I had to deal with that. I had to readjust to regular civilian life, and I had issues with that. I had to get myself right before I could get in the workplace, before I could get into my job and do my thing. Okay. It was a big culture shock. I was used to people that would men and women take a bullet for me in a New York minute. And I do the same. That's how we are. Coming into back in the real world, we call it, where people aren't so loving, where people are selfish and out for themselves. I had to get myself right before I got into that environment. Okay. And yeah, I had to talk to somebody. Had some mental issues by stuff that had happened. Okay. And ladies, you might have some trauma dating and stuff. And, some white people might have treated you bad. And you're going in a relationship with a guy that don't know that. So you got to heal. Okay. You you got to heal. And I say anybody jumping in a relationship, heal first. Okay? Because if you're going to get in a serious relationship where you become one, you got to be all for each other. Okay? That means standing up to your family, for your husband and wife. That means standing up to your community. That means, yes, standing up for your racial group. Because you know what? Your husband and wife is more important than that. Okay? And if they're not, your relationship ain't going to last. I'm not saying don't love your people. We all love where we come from, right? But the marriage is the most important. The husband and wife. That's the foundation of your family. Ladies and gentlemen, it is. So you got to put each other first. You got to stand up for each other. And I'm not stand up for each other doing something wrong. But what I'm saying is you got to fully understand each other. Well, not fully, but you got to understand each other. And you got to put each other first. Okay? And you're going to have to stand up. And I hate hearing, I've heard some black ladies say that they were with a white guy and their mom said something that was, off or shouldn't have said, and he didn't say nothing. He should have checked his mom in a heartbeat. Ladies use dating apps with audio or video calls and use them both for a while before you give your personal information, such as phone numbers. Yes, that's a good idea. And another thing, you could get Google numbers. Okay, I do it all the time. Okay, and if that person's a weirdo, you just cut it off just like that. Make the number go away. Okay, then given your personal phone number, because you don't know. Well, you can always change your phone number. But that's hard to do, especially in my world. It's hard for me to change my number because I have contacts with so many people that I work with, and my friends and family and my wife's family, and there's so many people connected to my number. So do a Google number. That's what I do, guys. Okay. You can do that. But, just be strategic in your dating. Okay. And like I said, if you don't love that man or woman with all your heart, don't get in that relationship. Don't interracially date because it's trendy. Do it because that's who you want to date. Do it because that's who you want to be with. Okay. And I'm going to say something before I show the video, guys. I'm not going to have a prayer meeting tonight. I'm going to do it Wednesday. Okay. I didn't really have a message, and I don't want to just throw something together, especially when we do a prayer meeting. I want it to be good. I want to be to the point. So I'm going to work on that. And Wednesday, I'm going to put that together. So yeah, I just let you guys know if you're waiting for that tonight, I'm going to change it because I don't have the message, and I don't want to go there not ready, trying to speak about scripture, and I'm not ready. That's not a good thing. So I'm going to do that Wednesday, and I can get prepared. But anyway, ladies, gentlemen, open up your options, okay? If that's what you want to do. Don't just do it because it's trendy, because interracial relationship is trendy right now. It's fun, it's exciting, and you can date interracially. But here's the thing, and it's a good thing. And it is exciting getting to know somebody that's different than you. I always thought that Black women were awesome. They're beautiful and they're different. There's something unique about them. And then when I got to know Black women that I've dated, I had good experiences, and I fell in love with a Black woman, my wife. So it can turn good. It can be a blessing. And that's why I want to promote, because if you love somebody, you should not be restricted. Okay? You shouldn't. Okay, let me see. I used dating meant for pretending to be somebody they're not. Yeah, I mean, hey, the dating apps, a lot of people will lie. They'll make themselves sound a little bit more successful than they are, a little bit more loving or whatever. People do exaggerate. Okay? They really do. Stay away from Bumble. Okay. We know the one to stay away from. Okay, I don't know. Hey, guys, I can't give you advice on dating apps. I'm old school, and I've been married 28 years, and it wasn't as big of a thing back then. Heck, when I got married, we didn't have cell phones. So, I mean, they had cell phones, but most people didn't have them, you know. Patrick Mumble. Okay. I'm going to show you this video, guys. I think it's going to be a fun video. And it's, you remember MTV Decoded? The lady's name is Francisca Ramsey. And she talks about, stereotypes and some generalizations on dating interracially and stuff. And she'll go over some stats a little bit. But it's a fun video. And, I think it was like 6 years ago. You remember the show MTV Decoded? And I'm going to show that. And I think you guys will enjoy. But before I do, I need to put the disclaimer up here. Okay. This is the copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. Go ahead and read it. We're going to use this video for education, for entertainment, for criticism, critique. We're going to use it, to learn something. And we can learn something from this video. And let me look here real quick before I start. Hold on. Sorry, I got to look this up real quick. And okay. All right. Sorry. All right. Everybody read that? Everybody got it? Okay. Fair use. Okay. We're going to use it under the Fair Use Act. So hopefully we'll learn something, get some commentary, critique, opinion. That's what we're going to do. Okay. And let me go ahead and take that down. If you need to read it again, go ahead and rewind. And, but anyway, I'm going to add this and I'm going to break it up a little bit. I'm going to stop in between the video. You know how we do, because I don't want to just show the whole video like we're showing, her video. And, but anyway, let me go ahead and add this to the screen.
Who's hot and who's not attractive for a blank?
Sorry. Okay, I got a little. All right, shout out to MTV Decoded, and there are MTV channels that you can watch Decoded on, and I would encourage you to subscribe and watch the old Decoded episodes. And there's other stuff on there that MTV shows. So a shout out to MTV Decoded and Francisca Ramsey. This was a good fun video. But I'm going to go ahead and play it, guys. And let me get to the beginning. And shout out to MTV Decoded.
Let's play a game of dating Mad Libs. Wow, you are really attractive for a blank. I would never date a blank. Or how about, I only date blank because they're really blank. I've got...
Okay. She's talking about stereotypes, right? Obviously, that's the wrong things to say. You're pretty for a black beep. I mean, come on. Me, I think black women are the most beautiful, so I would never say that. I wouldn't even accidentally say something like that. I would just say you're beautiful, and that's the way to approach. Okay, who would say that to somebody? Who would want to say you're pretty good for a black woman or a white guy, or who wants to? We want to be valued for who we are. We don't want to be put in. Oh, you're good for that group. So that's really condescending, and that's awful to say. And people have said that, right? And sometimes stupid people get caught up and, they don't really want to date. They don't date black women maybe, and maybe they want to date her because she's beautiful. So they might say something stupid like that. Don't do it, guys. Anyway, let me go ahead and continue.
Some bad news for you. Whether it's online or in real life, when it comes to dating, at some point the question of racial preferences comes into play. You're going out with she's going out with No, it's... hello, Obama. When you look at the numbers, dating sites paint a very specific picture of who's trying to get with who online. A recent study analyzed 2.4...
Okay, she's going to talk about some stats here. And I think this is Facebook, right? And she's going to break it down. This was 6 years ago, so the stats might have changed a bit, guys. Sorry, I gotta change my mouse because my mouse died. But let me just do that real quick. Sorry. But there's some stats, right? And this was from about 6 years ago. So stats probably changed a little bit, okay? Which they do through time. Okay, let's go ahead.
4 million interactions on the Facebook app, Are You Interested? And it found that most men were interested in women outside of their race, but overall, they preferred Asian women. And data from over 1 million messages exchanged on OkCupid showed that white women tend to favor white men, while Asian and Latina women almost exclusively go for white guys. Man, is a white man gonna get a break in this nation? On the other...
Okay, let me address that. Hey, when is a white man going to get a break in this nation? What do you mean we're favored? Dang, it's tough being white. Sorry. No, it's a joke. But to be all fair, most of the population of men is white men. So more women probably are around white men more often, so they choose what they're more comfortable with. Okay, I'm going to put it at that. I don't think we're the most desired. Okay, I'm not going to say that. I think it's just a personal preference. And most people choose the men they're around, okay? Black women choose black men most of all. And I think it's because they're more comfortable with them because they're in their community, they're in their families. And I think that's what that stat is. But it was funny. She said, can a white guy get a break? I mean, but you know what? That's a good ego thing for someone to say that. Oops, sorry. But in reality, it's probably because women are more comfortable with those groups of men. And to tell you truthfully, Asian women are the most dated right now. Asian women date and marry white men more than their Asian counterparts. That is a fact. Okay, so it's blowing up in interracial relationships that way. And why do I think that is? I might think because they feel more comfortable. Okay. I don't think it's necessarily that's just who they want to be with. A lot of them it is, but I think it's a lot of times who you're comfortable with. Okay. And look, this video, this is just opinions and some stats, but we know that society manipulates how we think. It really does. So be your own person, be an individual, and think for yourself. Don't think within a racial lens. Be like, who's the best person for you? Okay? Anyway, let's continue.
On the other hand, black men, Asian men, and black women tend to get the lowest response online. And keep in mind, that's just
Okay. Said Asian men, and black women. Okay. This is a study they did, but it's skewed study. Okay. It's like I said, people are going to choose mostly their own racial group, and white people were the majority. So most women will choose because that's who they're comfortable with. Okay. I believe that's what it is. Okay. And Asian men, I never see Asian men complaining about their women dating out, marrying out. I have never seen it. They're just going around making money and being successful. That's what I see. I'm being honest. And black women, I think black women are more desired than what's being said here. It's just we got to get out of our comfort zone to date a black woman. A lot of us white guys got to go to a different neighborhood or a different area to get to know a black woman. We got to get out of our comfort zone, and we got to, come with our A game so we don't offend her. So we say the right things, so we don't generalize or have stereotypes. We don't want to think we're a fetishizer or a racist or all this stuff, okay? So that's a lot of the reasons why us white men aren't open up our options as much to black women, because we're dealing with all this craziness, okay? And you're seeing it through my world as a white man, okay? We don't like to be called racist. We don't. I'm not a racist, and I hate to be called that because of who I am. I was born who I am. I'm a white guy. I did not choose this. I'm just trying to be the best of what I am. So you see, that's what we come in with. And I know, ladies, as black women, you deal with stuff we don't see that we're not used to. There's the barrier, but we can love each other. We can. Yes, we can. And we're very successful when we do it strategically. We are. The stats are saying it. So open up the options, because guys, we got barriers. We're coming with baggage, right? And I don't like to talk about racism. I don't like to talk about fetishization. I don't like to talk about these things. These are uncomfortable things, but you know what? I have to, because it's life, it's the real world, and it is what it is. Okay? So just keep that in mind. We're coming with different things, and that's what sets up barriers. Okay? I'm just giving you a little bit what's in my mindset, what's in my heart. Okay? We got to deal with it, but we can. If we love each other, we can get through all these barriers. Yes, we can. Okay, let me go ahead and continue on.
when it comes to straight people. So what's going on here? Now, when you bring it down to a personal level, you could argue that you can't control who you're attracted to.
I don't know, it's just like in my bones. I just want to bone Asian chicks.
As it turns out, attraction is really complicated. That's because perceptions of who's hot and who's not are largely influenced by society. Look, I was born this way, okay? I've just never been into black guys. That includes everything from social status, body type, and yes, race. Historically, white people have always been framed as the ideal beauty standard. Just Google beautiful woman or beautiful man and you'll see lots and lots of white.
Okay. She's got a point, right? Look at this. Beautiful men and women. What do you see? Is that your standard of beauty? A lot of people it is. Okay. But I think she's more attractive than the women out there. I'm just saying, but that's my preference, right? But this is what society shows you what's beautiful, right? Here's the thing. Okay, the majority of people sets the beauty standard, right? It don't mean they're the most beautiful, but when it comes to men and who they find beautiful, think about this, guys. Who's the most beautiful woman in a man's life? Who is it? And it's not equal opportunity when we talk about the most beautiful woman in our lives. You know who the most beautiful woman to a man is? Is his wife. His wife is the standard of beauty. Okay. And the majority of people, men in this country, are white, right? And most of them are married to white women. So you know what? They put out these images. Okay. So it don't mean they're the most beautiful. It just means they're the majority. And I'll tell you this, my standard of beauty is a black woman because I'm married to a black woman. That's where society goes. But we get caught up in it and we start believing that's beautiful because we see it. And we're told that over and over and over. Is that beautiful to you? I mean, beauty's in the eye of the beholder, but we're conditioned to believe that beauty looks a certain way, right? And she is right. You know, there's nothing wrong with white people thinking white people are the most beautiful, or black people think black people are the most beautiful. Nothing wrong with that. Or vice versa. Or you think someone outside your race is the most beautiful. Nothing wrong with that. That's up to you. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder. Okay? And she's got a good point. So don't let that get you mentally. If they say more people think white women are the most beautiful, well, most of the population's white, so they're going, and most people date within inside their race, so come on. Is it the truth or is it just their opinion? Okay? So don't let this stuff get you, because some people say, well, we're picked more than anybody. Well, yeah, there's more of you, crazy. So it don't really add up, really. Hello, everyone. Okay. Hey, pro white male leadership. Okay, good to see you. All right. Let's continue on.
And other than Denzel, People Magazine's sexiest man alive is always a white guy. Really? We got old ass Harrison Ford and no Ronaldo?
That's just funny how she said that, old ass Harrison Ford. I like Harrison Ford. He's a good actor. I mean, but would that be the sexiest man, ladies? I think, come on. but she's right. Who votes this in? Did they take a national wide vote? And that's funny how she said that. Old ass. Shout out to Harrison Ford. Okay, let's continue.
That man is simply dashing. Even in communities of color, historically people who are multiracial, part white, or fair-skinned are often seen as more attractive. In the 1920s, the paper bag test was used to mark the cutoff for attractive black folks as nothing darker than a paper bag. Allegedly, there were even black sororities and fraternities that required pledges to pass the test. But it's not just the black community that deals with these nasty beauty standards. In China and India.
Okay, I'm going to stop it right there. Hey, the paper bag thing is it's true. They did do that. They did that in the black community. My mother-in-law, told me about it, and I heard it from other people. It was a real thing. And it's sad that you would judge somebody by a skin tone, a shade. And when we look at it, they say, well, that comes from white supremacy. Yes, it does. It does. But why are black people adopting that? Maybe it's ingrained through generations, but really got to stop that. I know they don't hold paper bags to people's faces in today's world, but they did that back in the day. My mother-in-law told me how they would go to nightclubs and they would hold the bag against them and they couldn't get in if they were darker than the bag. So that is a real thing that happened. Okay. And, some people are put down because of their skin tone. That's stupid. And we know racists do it. White supremacy does it. But when it's done within black people, it just seems it don't make sense. And it's sad. I mean, but anyway, look, she's going to talk about China. It's just not here in the States. It's all over. right?
India, it's not uncommon to see skin lightening commercials where required pledges to pass the test. But it's not just the Black community that deals with these nasty beauty standards. In China and India, it's not uncommon to see skin lightening commercials where women go from ugly to beautiful as their skin becomes lighter. In fact, one of the most popular photo editing apps in Asia can not only lighten skin tones, but even widen eyes. So yes, attraction and beauty, the things that feel incredibly personal and almost automatic, can be skewed by society's preconceptions. But it's not just about whiteness. When being white is presented as the ideal beauty standard, society fetishizes and dismisses anything that's different. I mean, how many of these have we all?
Okay, let me stop there. Okay, you see what she said? In China, they have skin bleaching cream and stuff. So they're trying to get lighter complected. What's really going on here? So this is going on in different countries. And it can't be healthy to do that. You know, try lightening your skin. And a true fact, if you study this, if you research this, did you know here in America in the Old West, when they would go to like gold towns or silver town, or, you know, where population buildups would happen, and they had like prostitutes, you might say, and these are white women. They would even bleach their skin. White people bleaching their skin. Look it up, research it. I'll try to dig it up and show that. But there were white people that bleached their skin. It's like, what are you trying to do? Be clear? I mean, seriously. And these women would be like a pale white, sick, unhealthy look, you know? It's just not natural. But even white people did it, guys. What are we doing as people? I mean, what's going on? Remember, there are Black Asians too, just like there. Yeah, there are. But you know, it just seems it don't make sense. But anyway, let's continue.
All heard. Asian women are slight, delicate, and submissive. Black men are aggressive. Latinos are passionate. Asian dudes are weak and have small there's just so many and they're so racist. The problem is even positive stereotypes or, wow, I can't believe you don't fit the stereotype, is still racist. Once this guy told me, whoa, you're like the prettiest Black girl I've ever seen. Which sounds like a compliment, but, have you seen...
Okay. Let me stop there. She hit some points, right? We've seen these stereotypes, right? The one she's talking about. When it comes to Asian, Black, Hispanic, white people have stereotypes too. I mean, we've heard all these stereotypes, right? And where did it come from? Where did stereotypes come from? Is it because we think people are that way, or we created it to make another group look bad? I think that's really what's going on. Let me rewind this. Sorry. Let me rewind this a bit because I want to get what she's going to say next. You see a picture of Beyonce up there, right? Okay. We'll go back to where. Okay.
You're like the prettiest Black girl I've ever seen. Which sounds like a compliment, but, have you seen Beyonce? And even so, that essentially says that I'm pretty despite being Black, or that all Black girls are ugly. No thanks. But what about people of color that don't want to date white people? Well, that's kind of tricky too, because usually people of color not wanting to date white people is a defense mechanism to avoid being fetishized or overt racism. So who the hell can you be attracted to? Can you never date?
Okay. Let's talk about this. All right. Black women not wanting to date white men. It is some of the reasons because of a defense mechanism for being fetishized or racism. Okay. Let's talk about fetishization. Okay. There are white guys that do that. They fetishize. Okay. You know, and what is fetishization? Looking at a woman as an object, focus on body parts. Do white men do this? Sure. Okay. Now, does fetishization go on in the Black community? Do Black men fetishize women? Or is it exclusively a white man thing? Are we the only ones that do that? We have a monopoly on it? I'm just asking the question because I know I work with, black people, white people at my job, and there's some black guys that were checking out women's butts. Is that a fetishization? Or is it just if you're white and do it? I'm just saying, because we get hit with being a fetishizer. People go in on white men as fetishizers. I've been told that's what I've done because I'm with a black woman. I fetishize her, right? Or it's lust, or I'm doing it because some alternate reason except because of love, right? But ask yourself, ladies, who fetishizes? I think it goes all over the place. I think men of all races do it. Women do it too. I'm just saying. But, there's black women afraid of the white guy might fetishize her. And I guarantee she's been fetishized by black men too. So I think this is just a stereotype put on white men that's what we do. Okay. And, when you're told over and over, you believe it. And there are white men that do this. I'm not saying we don't do it. Okay. I'm just saying that's like a title we're given. Then racism. Okay. Nobody likes racism. No people with a good heart likes racism. Okay. Us as white people, we've been given that title as being racist. Even if we haven't done anything racial. Even if we haven't done anything racist. How many times, and I'm talking to you guys in a white man's perspective, because I've been called a racist and I didn't do nothing racist. Well, you're white. You're racist. You're inherently racist. Really? I didn't come out of the womb. I would have played with any child as a child myself. So how can that be? Or is it just an evil, sinful thing that's taught to us to keep us away from other people? Could that be it? But I think a lot of black women will push white men aside and not even deal with them because of defense mechanisms, because they think we're that monster. We're that fetishizer. We're that racist. We're that, we're just an evil monster. So, everybody had a crush on Harrison Ford. But anyway, I'm telling you my world, guys. And, and that's why I don't like to talk about racism and stuff like that. It is an uncomfortable topic. And I don't like being linked up with something I'm not, And you come in an interracial relationship, he might not understand when you talk about racism because he might be thinking you're directly talking about him, but you're not. You're just sharing what you're going through, right? Just saying, so there's a barrier. Think about it. Because what I'm telling you, ladies, the white man you're interested in, this is what's going through his mind. Okay? And, it is uncomfortable. It's very uncomfortable to talk about, evil stuff that white people have done. I don't like it because I don't like being linked to it. But we got to face the truth, okay? And that's life. Good, bad, indifferent, we got to face it. And we just got to be the best person God made us, But anyway, let's continue. This is a pretty fun video. Okay.
Outside your race? Can you even change your own psychology? Here, I'm gonna let you in on a little not so secret. I'm married to a white guy.
Okay, stop it right there. She's married to a white guy. Awesome. That's her and her husband. Okay. So even though she sees all the stereotypes and he does too, they came together and got married. Okay. Awesome. Okay, let's continue.
I don't even know you. But I didn't end up with him because he's white. I like him because he's funny and weird and he makes me happy. And if you haven't really dated outside of your own race or ethnicity, just leave yourself open to being surprised. Maybe that Asian guy's got a huge heart. Have you ever dated someone outside of your race? Let me know in the comments, and check out the description box to take the Look Different Racial Bias quiz to dig deep and see some of the ways racial bias might be affecting you. In our first
Okay, shout out to Decoded once again. Okay. Nice video, right? It's a fun video. But there's a lot of truth to that. There's a lot of things she brought up. You know, Francisca Ramsey, a lot of things she brought up. Okay, a lot of stereotypes, a lot of stuff we're told, right? And we've all heard these stereotypes. This ain't something new. And we believe because we hear them over and over, we think they're true, right? But that ain't the case. You know, most of the time it ain't the case. Stereotypes are designed to make a group of people look bad. That's what they're there for. It's most stereotypes, there's not, you know, they're mostly negative. There are some stereotypes that people embrace, and I'm not going to go into that, but you know what I mean, right? But mostly stereotypes are to make people look bad. They really are. Character over color, yes. Yes, J9, very much so. And you hear what she said? She married her husband not because he's white, because you know, he's funny and fun to be with, and she loves him, right? And that's what love should be. You are with who you want to be with because you love them, they love you, and they treat you well. Someone you can build a relationship with. Someone you can build a marriage with. Okay? And that's what it's about. He makes her happy, yeah. And we all want to be happy, right? We all want to be loved. And I'm telling you, you know, open up your options. See what's out there, ladies and gentlemen. See. You might find that black woman be amazing. She's not just beautiful, but dang, she's awesome. I found that out. You know, ladies, you might find that white guy that really loves you and lifts you up and treat you the way you should be treated. You know, and that's what it's about. Finding true love. And you know what? Love don't have a color. It doesn't. Love is love. And when you love somebody, you know, you want that person in your life. You want to be with that person. You can't stop thinking about them. Even when you're at work, even when you're doing other things, you wonder if they're okay. How are they doing? How are they feeling? You can't wait to see them. You can't wait to, you know, come home, you know, get on the couch and wrap up in a blanket with them and watch TV or talk about the family or, you know, look at the city lights down below and, you know, talk about old times. And you can't wait to just embrace them. Yeah. And she don't have to look like you to have that, or he don't have to look like you. Okay, I don't know what some of the talk in the chat is, but honestly, guys, there's barriers, there's stereotypes, and there's pure evil in this world. Okay. I will tell you this. Well, is there white people that have fetishized black women? Sure is. Okay. Keep this in mind. If you're worried about white men fetishizing you, ladies, you need to worry about every man fetishizing you, because we don't own a monopoly on that. It's not something we invented. It's something people do of all races. So keep that in mind. Okay. And also, you know, and racism. Okay. You don't want to be with someone that's racist, but I'm going to tell you something. Most racist white men aren't looking for black women to have a relationship with. They're really not. Okay. You might meet a man that might be biased in his thoughts, but that's not necessarily racism. Okay. Sometimes people confuse discrimination as racism. Someone might not like you because of where you're from, and it don't have to be your race. They might have a problem with you, how you look. Somebody might attack you, and it might be a white guy attacking a black guy or vice versa. That don't mean they're racist. They just might not like you. They just might not like people. So sometimes we get that a little mixed up there. Let's see. What's that? Fetishization is subjective because beauty is subjective. Yeah, it is. And you know what? People fetishize all the time, guys. Okay, let's be honest here. Okay, men and women are attracted to each other. Okay, we are. Physically, spiritually, emotionally, we're attracted to each other. It's how we're made. And yes, there's physical features men and women find attractive about each other. Okay, but there's a time and place for everything. Okay, there is. And when you're dating, you don't need to be thinking those thoughts. When you get intimate, that comes later on. And biblically, it should not happen till you're married as husband and wife. Okay. But you got to be disciplined. You got to control your feelings. Okay. But yeah, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. What I think's beautiful, another man might not think's beautiful. Okay. It just is what it is. We're attracted to who we're attracted to. There's white men I work with that think white women are the most beautiful. There's some that think Asians are. And there's some that think black women are the best, like I do. That's okay. Nothing wrong with that. Having your preference is a good thing. It's a beautiful thing. I think everyone should have it, but don't put no one else down because they don't meet your preference. Because you're not really showing love to the one you have a preference to. You're actually showing hate to someone that's not your preference. Just saying. And you don't need to do that. I love my wife, so I don't have to go tell Becky how great my wife is. I don't. I mean, to me, that's silly. But I see people do that date interracially and will, put it in people's faces. They're dating this person. So what? And it makes you wonder sometimes if you got to make it obvious, do you really care about that person? Because with my wife, I'm too much in love with her to worry about what other women think about it. I ain't got time for that. But, there's barriers, guys. There's stereotypes, there's barriers, and we got to fight through it. And like I said, interracial relationships is not for everybody. Interracial marriage is not for everybody. You got to be that person that's strong enough and that's willing to stand up to who you're with. You need to stand with them against your family, your community, society. You got to put them first. Because if you can't put your wife first, you don't need to be with her. And same thing, ladies, if you can't put that husband first, you really shouldn't be married, because that's what marriage is about. When you get married, it says to forsake all. Does it not say that? To forsake all. What's that mean? That means me as a man being married, I'm not to have other feelings for women like I do with my wife. That means I put her first. When it comes to women that walk the earth, my wife is the top woman. She's my everything. and I shouldn't have no other thoughts or anything except for my wife. And same thing for the ladies. You should feel that way with your husband. And if you're not willing to go there, you shouldn't get married. You shouldn't even waste your time. So, I wanted to talk about this, and and I don't like talking about fetishization, racism, and all. I don't, guys. I don't. I hate it. I really do. I want to talk about the love. I want to talk about the attraction. I want to talk about the blessings. I want to talk about marriage. I want to talk about children, kids, grandkids. That's what I want to focus on. I want to focus on the good things. I love telling you about me and Sandy's marriage. How we got married, how we met, how we have 3 children, how they grew up, and how we got through some of the struggles in life, and how we lifted each other up along the way, and how we found true love when everybody said it wouldn't work, how we made it happen, how our marriage is outlasting everybody's. That's what I want to talk about. That's what I want, the story I want to tell you. I want to put the good. I don't want to go in and talk about fetishizations and stuff and racism. I don't like talking about it. I wish we could wave a magic wand and all that evil goes away for good, and we could just be happy together. That's what I want. But there's good and bad in this world, and we gotta face it. Okay. I don't like racism. I don't like white supremacy, but it's in this world. Okay. I don't like to carry that label because I did not earn that label. Okay. And when you give somebody a label, make sure they earn that label before you give it to them. Good, bad, and indifferent. And yeah, and I don't have to. You're right. But, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I thought it was fun to watch. But the stereotypes that she was talking about, we've all seen it, right? It ain't something new. She didn't just make this up. It is what it is, but we can navigate through that stuff. We can get to know each other the right way. We can interracially date and marry the right way. Okay? And it can be an awesome blessing. It's a beautiful thing. And I promote interracial relationships. I do. I think it's a beautiful thing. And some people don't want me to promote that. They don't want me to talk about that. But even if I stop tomorrow, stop talking about it, it's still going to happen. People are attracted to each other. And you know what? People are going to look at other races of men and women because they're interested in them. They might think that's the better option. They might go and find out if it is or not. Nothing wrong with that. Do it the right way. I'm going to put the link up here, guys. If you do want to come on, I'll give you the opportunity. If you want to talk about these stereotypes or, interracial relationships in general. If you want to give your 2 cents in it, and, I give you the opportunity. And, this is something I don't like talking about stereotypes too much, but, we do have to cover it, and we got to be aware of it. How can we battle this? How can we get through this? Okay. Men, how can we understand Black women? How do we go about it? Because we're not going to understand everything they tell us. But if you have patience, love, have some compassion. And if she sees that you embrace her and tell her it'll be okay. I don't understand what you're going through, but I love you. I'll try to figure it out, but I love you. I think you're the most beautiful woman on earth. I mean, that kind of helps, does it not? Instead of like, I don't know what you're talking about. Embrace, be patient. And ladies, understand that man is with you and trying to have a relationship with you because he loves you. Okay? And usually if he's trying to be with a black woman, he's usually not racist. He might have some biased thoughts. I don't know, but you got to get to know him. Okay? But keep that in mind. We got to have patience with each other. We really do. And you know what? It's going to be easier to interracially date and marry in different places because of your environment. And we see that. There are places where you see interracial relationships all over the place. And there's other places you hardly ever see it. And if you do, it's very rare. I mean, where I live, it's easy. Me and my wife got together. We didn't really talk about racism and stereotypes, and we really didn't. We just knew we love each other and we got married. And I never really carried stereotypes to black women. I just knew they were amazing and beautiful and I wanted to be with them. That's the thought I had. I thought, man, they're awesome. I wanted to have a black girlfriend. I wanted to have a black wife. I did. And I'm being honest with you guys. That's where my heart is. I never thought that they were some kind of crazy. And because the ones that I was around, I felt true love. I got an understanding. I seen from the get-go the value that black women have. Though it cut my path straight to my wife. I claim my Latino husband. Dust Divester, over 47. I claim my Latino husband this year in the name. Okay. Yeah, and you claim him because he lifts you up. He puts you first, right? Yeah. So, guys, go in it with an open mind, an open heart. Okay. Be cautious, though. Get to know that person. Be safe, ladies, because there are creepy men in every racial group. There are men that will harm you in every racial group. There are. But there are good men too. Be cautious. Be strategic. I think like I think like Moonchild was saying, she don't go on the bowling date till the 5th date or something, or she had a certain things she does. She's got a plan on how she dates, right? And that was good advice. That's a good idea. And ladies, really, you should move slow with the man. Make sure you know his intentions. Okay? And don't think you have to have sexual relationships with a man to keep him. Because if you have to do that to keep him, you don't need to keep him. You need to get rid of him immediately. Because he don't really love you. He's just lusting after you. Just saying. So it's a good idea to move slow. But get to know him. You might find out, you know what? That's who you've been waiting for your whole life. Who knows? I believe there are more. Oh, okay. Yeah. So open up your have an open heart, guys, and just try to understand where they're coming from. You know. Yep, that's right, T. I have to put this up there. It's not different races, it's the human race. Different ethnic groups. Race is a construct implemented to divide us. I 100% agree with that. It's true. We are the human race. There aren't different races. There are different ethnicities, yes. We got different DNA. I mean, we got different features and stuff. But we're people. We came from the same place. If you believe the Bible, we come from the same place. You know? Yeah. You know, so really we're not an interracial. Me and my wife aren't an interracial couple. We're a man and woman in love. Yeah. She's darker than me and I'm lighter than her. So what? We love each other and we found love. So that's what counts. That claim pertains to my future husband, Latino Christian husband. Awesome. But anyway, I'm going to be closing this here pretty soon, guys. We've been on an hour and 20 minutes. I'll put the link up for a little bit longer if you want to come on. I'm not trying to push you to come on. I just, want to make sure there's an opportunity. If somebody does want to come up and say something, that's your opportunity. Interracial relationship. Correct. The Bible speaks to human race. Yes, a man. Let me read this. This is good. All right. Correct. The Bible speaks to the human race. Yes, a man and woman in love. Keep up the good work of uniting our world. Well, I hope I have a positive impact. I'm not a big person. There's not a lot of people that know me. And but there is a few people that know who I am, and they know the story of me and my wife. They know about our marriage, and they know that, we came together with love, and we've made it through. And that's the story I want to tell. That's what I want to let people know, that it's okay to interracially date. It's okay to love someone that don't look like you. It's okay. Whether you're a man, woman, black, white, Asian, whatever, it's okay to love someone that don't look like you or has a different culture than you. It is okay. It's your right to be with who you want to be with, if that person will have you. That's a human right, guys. That is not something that we vote on. Okay? I know there's some weirdos that think interracial marriage should be a state thing. In this day and time, why would they even? But there's a couple lunatics that believe that crap, that the states should be able to decide. The state shouldn't be able to decide. The federal government shouldn't be able to decide. It's a human right given by God. Men and women are supposed to come together in marriage and have families. I believe God has raised you up for such a time as this, when Black women do desperately need love and validate. Oh, you know what? I don't know what I'm meant for, but I just want to have a positive impact, and I just want to reach somebody, even if it's just one or two, and let them know it's okay. It's okay to love who you love. And I just want the world to know that. And what you said about Black women, in their community, Black women are the majority. and the men date and marry out twice as much. So there is an imbalance. And, you know, and I think God's going to move in this. I think God's going to bring women that want a husband. And it should be, you know. And I'll be honest, Black women, I have the utmost love and respect for Black women. I do. And I'm not just saying this. I do, because I see what's in their heart. The ones that I've been around, I see what's in their heart. And my wife's got the biggest heart of gold. And I see true beauty and value in that. And Black women I've known that I've talked to, a lot of them want to be married. A lot of them want to have a family. And a lot of Black women are okay with being with a white guy or a Hispanic guy or an Asian guy. They just want to be loved. They want to have that family. They want to have that marriage. They want to be lifted up. And they should be. And I tell you, I never wanted to be with any other woman but a Black woman. Because I've seen Black women for who they are. I've seen their heart. You know, I've tapped into their emotions and how they feel. And I find beauty in that. You know, I've embraced that. My whole life, from the time I was 16 till I got married, I always seeked out Black women. And I wasn't in a community that had a lot of Black people. So I had to search. I had to pray about it. And I did. You know, I had to go where they're at. And I had to have the courage to approach them. And that's a little tough. Get out of your comfort zone. There were times I was embarrassed. There was times I was kicked to the curb. There were times that I was like, oh my God, they don't like me. But you know what? I found true love. And it's worth going through all that. And I'm just going to say that. Anyway, let's see, we got someone on. Vanessa.
Yes, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Welcome to the panel.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm so nervous, but I do have a couple of things that I would like to add to the podcast.
I'll try to answer the best I can.
You what?
I said I'll try to answer the best I can.
Oh, well, just speaking on some of my personal experience with dating and interracial dating and such that I would like to add.
Uh-huh.
So I'm definitely falling back into kind of a more cynical place all over again. I was single for a long time, kind of went back out into the world and decided to open myself up to just dating, period. And I've always dated outside of my race, so that's not even something that's new to me. But when I look at the overall picture of what I observe is happening, is you have Black women as being so-called like at the bottom of desirability for pretty much every single group of men. So I think the issue is less of whether Black women are willing to date out and open our options, so much as it is men being open to the idea and not having like this higher bar for Black women specifically to meet, just for them to be like worthy of some love and attention and focus. Because in my experience, that's kind of what I'm seeing and experiencing. Is I feel like with women of other groups, you know, it's nothing for them to just walk into a room. They can be a horrible person, but because of their racial makeup, then they may get a quicker pass in the dating world. Whereas for a Black woman, it's like you can own 10 businesses, you can have 3 PhDs, you know, you can have like all of these things. But I feel like in the dating world as a whole, men are still looking to see like what is this Black woman's value? What does she bring? And I feel like it's a tougher process for us.
Well, let me say something about that. I think it's a bit of a misconception, and here's why I say that. The most uncomfortable person for white people to date, white men, and is Black women, and I'm going to tell you why. It's not that we don't find them attractive or beautiful, and it's not that we don't want to date them. Um, we've come out of segregation not too long ago, so it's kind of new, and Black women are a small group of the population, and Black women, for the most part, are race loyal. They marry. They're the least likely to date and marry out than other groups of women. They really are, and I think Black women just have a big heart. And when a Black woman loves you, and I believe this, and I've seen it through my wife, that she will do anything for you. She'll be there for you. She'll put you first. And I think a lot of Black women put their community first because they love their people. Nothing wrong with that. But I think that's what's happening. And us as white men, I'm going to tell you, a lot of us think that Black women aren't interested in us. And
I understand that part, but at the same time, where does it leave Black women when say we're traditional? We don't believe in approaching men and pursuing men. So when it comes to just like courtship and dating, if that responsibility is mostly on the man to pursue women, that leaves Black women that are open to dating out in a tough position, almost in a powerless position, to be honest.
Yeah, and you're right about that, and that is true. And it is uncomfortable to step out because of what society and the world we live in, and a lot of times, men that do date out, sometimes they feel uncomfortable because we have that label as the fetishizer, the racist. So we're dealing with that in our heads, and sometimes white men don't approach Black women because they don't want to be having to explain that they're not racist, that they're not fetishizing you, that they're not this monster. Okay, and I was never like that. I went for what I wanted. And yeah, if you're traditional, yeah, it is hard, especially interracially. And a lot of our communities, speaking as white people, generally don't have access to Black women. In my neighborhood, I had to seek Black women out to date them because they weren't around me all the time. I didn't have access like that. So I think a lot is going on with that, and there's a misconception. And Black women are beautiful, and they've actually done some studies where they found that white men are more willing to date Black women than Black women to white men. And maybe that's kind of skewed. Maybe they just said that as a defense that they don't want to date out. And I've been rejected by Black women. And we all get rejection, but a lot of times Black women will reject us because of, multiple things. Of course, they're not attracted to us. That's one. But it also because they believe we're after them for some alternate reason, for a fetish, for some desire other than love, right?
Mm-hmm.
So there's those barriers, and that's why I tell ladies, be where the men are that you want to date. I always say, get you that Becky, that as a friend, that white woman, right? And you can and develop a friendship, get into that friendship circle. Then guess what? You get to meet her brothers or cousins, and if you guys are close like that, she might tell you what the good guys are, and she might talk about you like, hey, she's got it together, and a lot of white men love black women. We have ever since the beginning of time. Okay.
Right.
The problem is it's racism. Yes. I mean, we're moving forward as a nation, but it's still there. There's stereotypes, and there's just that fear. Like, how do I approach? So many guys tell me, I would date a black woman, but what do I say to her? And I say to them, tell her how you feel. Tell her you think she's attractive and you want to talk to her. You don't have to be suave with the words. People got a misconception that they got to be some guy that just says the perfect words and it just flows and he's so confident and she just falls in love. It ain't like that. A lot of times women have told me that men, that they get cautious when he's too confident because they're thinking, okay, if he's that way with me, what other women is he suave with? What other women is he real cool, calm, and collected with? I think a lot of women embrace that you're a little nervous, that your voice trembles a little bit, but you talk to her.
Yep.
You feel something for her, right?
It's the intention. It's the intention that makes the difference. Yeah.
Yeah. And sometimes that stuttering is a good thing. I know my wife said, I said, did you understand what I was saying when I approached you? She says, well, I seen it in your eyes. And she thought it was cute that I was nervous. She thought, oh, this guy really feels for me. He likes me, So, but there's a lot of barriers. And I don't think black women aren't at the bottom. Don't say that, ladies. You're not. Black women are the most beautiful women on earth. And I'll say it. And you know what? Interracial marriages are on the increase with black women. More men of different races are pursuing black women. They are. And you might not see it in your neighborhood. You might not see droves of white men looking for black women, but the numbers are going up every day. And as it becomes more of a norm, it's going to happen more often. And I understand what you're saying, and it's because we're still segregated. We really are. There's black neighborhoods where there's not a lot of white people, and I talked to one young lady. She says, "Well, white men ain't talking to me." I said, "Where do you live? Is there a lot of white?" Well, it's mostly black. Okay, there you go. You got to be where they're at. They got to see you. I'm not saying throw yourself at them. I know some women said, well, heck with it. I'm just going to go for it. And yeah, sometimes that works, but it's not really the traditional way. The man's supposed to make the move. And the woman either accepts them or rejects them. That's how it's supposed to be.
Right. You still want it to be like a natural process.
Yeah. Because that's the role we play.
Right.
Huh?
Oh, no, I was just agreeing with you. Yes.
Oh, okay. Yeah. But don't get caught up in the misconception. You're not at the bottom. Don't listen to those dating things. Black women are chosen less. You know why? Because there's more white people, and people date within their race and marry with their own race mostly. So, the man that's married to the woman, that's his standard of beauty. So it's not that you're less chosen. It's just that there's more white people than black people. It just, but we look at raw numbers and think, oh, that's the answer. No, it's not. What it is.
Well, it's not only raw numbers. Like I said, I'm speaking from my own observation and experience, and being in this world as a black woman and having a whole lot of family, cousins, aunts, friends from college. I mean, just on and on and on. I mean, there's a lot of a lot of good single Black women,
Oh, there
that are successful and such. So it's, it's a real thing. It's a real thing. It's there's a lot of really good single Black women.
Yeah, there are, but there's if you look at Black people, did you know there's approximately 2 million more Black women than Black men?
Yes,
Yeah, so
100%.
yeah, so that's a factor. Did you know that Black men date and marry out twice as much as Black women?
Yes, I'm familiar with every last one of those
Uh,
studies. Mm-hmm.
yeah, so it's lopsided, right? And
Mm-hmm.
then Black women are uh people go in on Black women when they do open up their options. You guys are ridiculed more than any group in America. You really are. When you open up your options and you date out, you get a lot of flack, right?
I'm not talking about race loyal women.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about race loyal women either. I
Yeah.
haven't been race loyal since high school.
Yeah.
And I have friends that are the same way. I've lived in different parts of the country
Hmm.
and so forth. So there's definitely a disconnect. I agree with that.
Yeah.
And so something hopefully will evolve by the time our kids, the next generation comes up,
I,
that
I, I,
it gets a little better.
and it will. I'm confident it will. The numbers are moving. There's a shift happening. Um, I, it's going to get better as we move along. I'm pretty confident of that. You
Yeah,
know,
I do feel like I see the kind of the younger college generation right now doing probably mixing more. I
yeah,
see a lot of younger Black girls, young Black ladies dating out more and making sure that they have more options or that they're open to more options in dating in relationships.
yeah, yeah. I see it too. Me and my wife are amazed because we got married back in '94, and we stood out. She's Black and I'm white, and there were other interracial couples, sure, but I mean, it was a rarity. Now we go out, we see it all the time. And they're younger people. They're like, and I think it's good. I think it's an amazing thing. They're like, we don't care. They're not caught up in the race loyal thing, or, they're just doing what they want to do, and they should be able to do that. And it's going to get better as generations go. We just thing is we just gotta love and respect each other, and you know what? Give each other a chance. And
Yeah, and unfortunately, I do think that the biggest part of it is that people are still just afraid of what they
Mhm.
believe is like socially acceptable.
Yes,
They're not willing to go through the work that's necessary to be that strong and firm in their relationship, because they're just worried about what other people think too much in life.
yeah. And you know what? Think of this too. Okay. I chose my own path, right? But look at white men in general. And I'm going to say this. Um, they're attracted to Black women, but then they think, okay, if I date her, I'm going to get flack from this group. Some of my family members might not like it. And if it's a guy that just thinks that all women are beautiful, he's going to say, you know what, I might stay with Becky because nobody cares. Nobody's going to give me a problem. And she's in my neighborhood. Our families accept it. Boom, it's a wrap. But if I
Right.
get with a Black woman, which I think is very beautiful, well, her dad might not like it. And, my mom's kind of crazy about that. And oh, gosh. And then that's what's happening.
Yeah, they don't want the headache.
They don't. but the ones that do, and this is why our marriages last longer, because the white guys that go for the black, he's truly in love with her. He wants to be with the black woman. That's
Right,
how
right.
I could care less what my family thought. She comes first, and she's going to be with me, and I will not be denied. This is going to happen, and I prayed about it, and this is what I want, and I was just focused, and see, that's why I think a lot of our marriages work, because us as white men, when we go there, we're going all the way,
Yeah,
and
it's like you already made a commitment
yeah,
early.
before even I was. I tell this story. I said, black women won my heart over when I was 5. You know, and and my mind was made up before I even started dating black women. What I wanted, I was already committed before I even had the relationship. Yeah, you're right. I just had that mindset, and I was driven by that. But not all people are like that. Most people really, I would say most white men will date black women or white or Asian. They don't, just whatever. And there's a big trend with Asian women and white men right now.
Yeah.
But it's easy. I can, for the most part, I could date Asian women, and usually if I got a job and I'm doing what I'm supposed to, the Asian family is going to accept me. Usually. I
Yeah,
mean, there might
it's
be,
more socially acceptable. Yeah.
yeah, it's more socially acceptable. But when it's black and white, then that's when that's the biggest problem.
Yeah, it's almost like we're supposed to be the last group to get together that
Yeah,
exists.
it is.
Yeah.
But
Mm.
yeah, but what I understand what you were saying and stuff, and it's sad that it's got to be that way. But you know what? We can, and I want to put that message out, like, hey guys, if you love that person, be with them. There's
Right.
people I know that said, you know what? I got a guy I work with. He says, you know what? I dated this black girl and she loved me and she was there. He says, man, I messed up so bad. He says, and I had love for her, but I was talked out of it because I felt that, I would run her through the dirt if I married her, because we would have problems in this. And now he's brokenhearted. I've heard women say that too. I shouldn't have listened to my friends, or I shouldn't have
Right.
listened to, I mean, I missed out. And there's people with broken hearts today because they
Yeah,
didn't,
'cause they cared about what everybody else thought about it.
yeah, they didn't follow their heart, and they're brokenhearted. And it's sad. And I don't think anybody should have to go through that.
Right.
And I think we should embrace everybody that finds true love, regardless of the racial dynamic. Why don't we just care about people being happy? Why
Hmm.
do we get caught up in, well, she's with that guy that don't look like me. Well, come on, who cares? I mean, if
Yeah.
they're happy, I, I can see if you're upset if you wanted to date her or you had a relationship. Okay, I get it. But if you don't even know these people and you feel some kind of way about it, I've seen that so many times, and it blows my mind.
Yeah, it's people projecting
Yeah.
their own stuff. Well, thank you so much. Thank you so much for letting me talk on here.
Oh yeah.
Thank you for your channel. It's necessary, and it's a safe space. So thanks for that.
Well, thanks for coming on. It was a pleasure talking to you, and I appreciate your perspective and stuff. And having discussions like this, I think we need to have. And look, black women, white men, and black women have a variety of the man you want. There's white, Asian, Hispanic. It's your world. You be happy.
Right.
But Anyway,
Thank,
Vanessa.
thank you. I'm still watching, but I'm a log off the
Okay.
stream.
Yeah, thanks for coming on. It was good talking to you. Good discussion. I really appreciate it.
All right, bye.
Bye. Have a good one. All right. All right. That was a good discussion. That's what I like having, you know, and ladies, don't ever think you're at the bottom. Black women, you're first class. You're top of the line. Okay. I'm going to say it. I chose the black woman over every woman. So you got one here that feels that way, and you got millions of men that feel that way. Let's be honest. Okay, we're dealing with the racial barrier, but we're going to knock down that wall. You know, we're chiseling away at it. We're going to kick in the door and we're going to make it happen. You know, we're going to be able to love who we want to, and we're going to be able to live the best life we can, you know. And we'll you know, so, you know, just have that option open, ladies, guys. Okay. True love's hard to find. And you know what? Love comes in different colors. It does. So, ladies, you know, black women, you should be, you know, proud of what you've accomplished. You're the most educated. That's first class. Ladies, you've opened the most businesses when it comes to women. That's first class. You know, you got the biggest hearts. That's first class. Black women are the most spiritual and traditional women I've ever seen. That's first class. You know, black women, you have a unique beauty that's different from other women. Your skin tone, your hair texture, your natural beauty, that's first class. So don't ever for 1 minute put yourself beneath nobody. Ladies, you are the best choice. You are first class. And those of us, men of other races that marry you, we find out how blessed we really are. And I'm telling you by my life experience. And if I had to do it over again, black women would always be my first choice. And I'm a white guy from a white neighborhood. And I don't hate my neighborhood or my family, or I just love black women because you guys are special. You guys are beautiful. Because ladies, you have so much to offer. And it's what's in your heart. It's what's, you know, in your soul. It's your emotions. It's your passion. It's your spirituality. It can't be beat. So make the men earn the, you know, privilege to be with you. You are the treasure. You know, and if you give a man the privilege and opportunity to be with you, he's blessed. Just keep that in mind. Okay, ladies? And I'm speaking the truth. Look at my marriage. Look at my wife. You know who I chose. And I'm telling you, I'm not the only one. There are millions like me that think like I do. Because we see the true beauty. Our eyes are open. We see how much of a blessing you are. And for that, we love you. We do. And we thank God for you every day. I know I do. My wife is, I break down all the time. I can't believe how blessed I am. I can't believe that God would allow me to have a beautiful, awesome wife like I got. But black women, you are a blessing. You got so much to offer and you got so much value you don't even know. And there are barriers. But you know what, ladies? You're doing the most with the least amount of resources than any group in America. You are. And you're doing it. You're making it happen. I see a lot of black women that aren't privileged, that don't have a lot, and they make it happen and become successful. They write their own destiny. So I mean, ladies, you can have whatever you want. I mean, seriously, you do such amazing things. You know, you can have a Brad. That's too easy. There's barriers, but you can have that. It just a lot of times we're too scared to jump out of that comfort zone. All right. Feel blessed that you have Prissy. That's good. Embrace your wife. Embrace what you got. And ladies, you are a blessing to me. You were when I was 5 years old with the babysitter. Black women, you're a blessing to me. The women I met in church that were loving, you're a blessing. The women that were friends to me, you're a blessing. The women that I dated, the women that turned me down, you're a blessing. My wife, she's a blessing. So don't sell yourself short, ladies. And I'm not just saying that to fluff you up. This is me speaking truth. Okay. But anyway, we've been on for almost 2 hours now, so I might have to go ahead and shut it down. I love you guys, ladies. Remember, you're the treasure. You're the blessing. Okay. Don't sell yourself short. You should never lower your standards for a man. And you know what? If it ain't happening in your community, open up your options. And if that white guy ain't doing it for you, go to that Asian guy. If he ain't doing it, go to the Hispanic guy. Go where you're loved and celebrated. Oh, did somebody want the link? I'll put it for a couple more minutes, but I got to shut down here soon. I think somebody was asking for it. I'll put it up for a few more minutes before I close out. If somebody else wants to come on. Oh, did you, J10? Awesome. Wrote a letter to your future husband. Yeah, I would. You know what? I was talking. We did this before on the channel, where people would come on, the ladies and some of the guys would do it. It is write a letter to your future wife or future husband, and just write down thanking them for being the loving husband or being there for you, and uplifting you and all the stuff you want in life, how you picture that perfect guy, or guys, that perfect girl, right? Who you're going to be married to. Write a letter. And that kind of helps you understand what you want out of a man, out of a woman. That gives you, and then that way, when you're dating, you can, getting to know that person. Do they fit that criteria? Are they family orientated? Do they want to have a marriage? Do they, what do they believe in God? Do they share the same values you do? That's a good thing what that letter's for. Because when you go in a relationship, you always want to be strategic. You always want to have a plan. Because you're looking for someone you're going to spend the rest of your life with, right? If we're looking for marriage, that's what we do. Now, just keep in mind, we're all flawed people, right? Okay. Okay, Pleasures 420. You change your name again?
I always have to change my name. You
I
hear
was
me?
like, I was like, I recognize the picture.
Yeah, it's still me. It's still me, but I'm not here to charge no trouble. I'm not here to cause no trouble today. But you know what I wanted to ask, because this is I
Uh-huh.
speak for a lot of Black women. So this is
Uh-huh.
what I want to say, because a lot of Black women have this question, right? Um,
Uh-huh.
this is it. How do you? This is the thing, because Black women are in a particular situation, and unfortunately, our racial group has destroyed our image. So how do you combat that?
How do I combat that?
No, like how do we deal with that?
Well, what I would say is, if you feel it's destroyed, as you mean like relationships, marriage, and stuff like that, um, I would say open up your options. But okay, um, because here's the thing. Um, that's how I would say if that's what you're talking about. Now, as it goes to the community and stuff, I think men have to fix that. I can't fix it, but as women, I would say go open up your options. Go to the men that love you and celebrate you. Um, because I'm sure there's good men in every community. There are, right? But some communities, there's not a lot of them, and you might have to venture out. Um, I would say in that instance, open up your options. Maybe go to a community that has, the group of men you want to be with, that you think's a better choice, a better community. Maybe go into that. Um, that's how I would say to combat it, if that's what you're talking about.
Well, you see, the problem is not really me. It's just that I know collectively Black women don't date out because they have a lot
Yeah,
of fears. So when I
yeah,
tell them, my experience with dating, I mean, my preference is white men. That's just what I like. So that's always the way it's always been. Even though I was married before, I was married to a Black man in my 20s. I was married for 3 years.
mhm,
But my preference has always been, and I never had any children. So, but when I talk to a lot of Black women, and I always tell them, you should, venture out. And, they have a lot of fears.
yeah,
And a lot of the fears comes from, like I said, from what they are told as young Black girls, and how, non-Black men are going to treat them. So that's a problem.
yeah,
So yeah, so
yeah. You know what I would say? To get out of the comfort zone, I would say make friends. You know how I talked about getting with a Becky and becoming a friend, someone you can trust, but um, and getting that friendship circle. Maybe you can learn more about the men in that group, how they are before you commit to a date, or that might be a thing to consider, or be in a group where you can meet people and actually get to know them before you're dating them, and maybe that might take away some of the fears, and some of the stereotypes and stuff that's out there, because I know there's a lot of fear. And a lot of ladies have told me, well, I would date out, but I'm scared. Is he racist? Is he going to fetishize me? Is he going to do something crazy? And I'm like, well, I mean, any man could do something crazy, but most of us ain't like that. Most of us are actually good people. But I understand the fear, because when you're told something and you see it over and over, it's like that video I showed when they were showing the standard of beauty, because we keep getting told this, so people start believing it psychologically, So I would say maybe get in a friendship circle, be where that group is, get to know them. And a friendship circle is the best way, because you become friends, you learn about people. and they might tell you how they are, and then the guy says, yeah, I was with this girl and this woman, and say, well, I don't. And if you're a strategic woman, you say, well, I don't want to be with him because that's not what I'm looking for. And then this guy might be, I'm in the marriage, I love family, and I mean, just an idea, just food for thought.
Okay. Well, because you see, in the community, in I don't even call it a community, but moving forward, what I would say is that it is so normalized for Black women to be in relationships with Black men that don't like them, that don't like their skin tone, that don't like their hair. So that's very normalized. You understand what I'm saying? Globally, you understand what I'm saying? So I'm still trying to understand Black women as well, and I'm a Black woman, because I don't understand how you can deal with that, but you can't, but you have all these fears about another race of man when you're already dealing with that from your own race of men. So that's something that I'm still trying to understand when it comes to Black women, because I don't understand that as a Black woman.
I think just psychological, because I knew this one guy I work with, and he loved his wife, and he did anything for her, and she treated him like crap. She even cheated on him, and he still tried to make it work. And he knew she was doing him wrong, but he still didn't want to leave. He still was stuck. And I think that's kind of what you're talking about. They still want it to work, even though they know it's just tragic. And, sometimes psychologically people cling to people that don't like them or people that mistreat them. You have women that their husbands beat the crap out of, and they're still with them. I don't understand that. But yeah, I mean, all I can say is, if you think a better option is going to a different community neighborhood, I would say do it. But it's hard to get someone that's afraid to do that. And even though they might be dealing with a worse situation, they might feel more comfortable dealing with the trauma that they're familiar with than the possible blessing somewhere else. I mean, it's a sad thing, but I don't know how you can get someone to change that if they're dealing with that situation. I don't know how. It's like someone that's got a problem with drugs. They got to want to get help, or they won't get help. They got to. It's like, of course, the Stockholm syndrome sometimes, and for some weird reason, sometimes women embrace the men that mistreat them. I never understood that, but
Well, I mean, that's the thing in the community, where they'll say, if you want to be with a non-Black man, particularly a white man, it's Stockholm syndrome. Those are the things that they'll say to you. So, because like I said, so I always, this is why I come up and I try to speak a lot of things and I say a lot of things, because like I said, you're not in the community like that. So
No,
I don't think that people are understanding what we're being told by Black men and by the community. I don't think people really truly understand that. And the things, like you understand what I'm saying, and the culture, and the BMW culture or whatever. So that has an effect on the mindsets of Black women and girls. So that's why I'm going to start my own channel as well, and my channel is going to be very brutal, unfortunately. So I'm going to keep everybody out of it, but but
well,
it's going to.
You can be much more brutal than I can, but yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I'm sorry to cut you off.
Oh, no worries. But I wish you luck with the channel. I hope it does good and stuff. And I'm sorry, I really can't answer some of those questions with that. and like you said, I don't know what goes on. I don't know the community like that. All I can go off is what I've been told, and what I might see on the outside if I get to catch a glimpse. But other than that, what you ladies tell me is all I know, really. I mean, my wife's black, yes, but she pretty much came from a white neighborhood, so it's like, it's, uh, I was the first white guy she dated, but she was around white people all the time, so it was more of an easy transition for us than it would be someone from a more black community, you might say. So some things I don't see, ladies. Some things I just don't know. I just do what I think, a lot of times. But hey, Michelle, how you doing? Welcome to the channel. No, okay. Can you hear me? All right. Okay, you got your
Sounds like they're on mute.
I can't unmute it. It's you. Hey, Michelle, you got your mic muted. Unmute your mic and you can talk. Yeah. Oh, there you go. Okay. Hey, Michelle, welcome to the panel.
Are you talking to Michelle or Mitchell?
Oh, Mitchell. I'm sorry. Mitchell.
Oh,
welcome.
okay. You're
Sorry.
talking to me. Oh my God, that's so cool.
Yeah, I was glancing. I'm so used to Michelle instead of Mitch.
It's okay. It took Playboy 2 years to understand I'm not a dude. So.
Yeah. What? I'm sorry. Yeah, I knew you're a woman because I seen you on camera. So I was like, I was
trying to figure this out, and since I'm like relatively new to technology and stuff, and because I performed stand-up live for the first time, I think it was almost a month ago, and people asked me what was my Instagram, and I froze, and I said, I've heard of that. And so now that I'm going to perform stand-up again in August, I'm trying to become, I guess, social media literate,
Oh, okay.
Set all of that stuff up before then. And I was watching a video, and I saw you there, and it said live, and I said to myself, I wonder how they do these live things for later. I didn't think this was live,
Yeah, this is live.
Amazing.
Yeah, it's neat. I mean, it's back in the past they had talk shows, and now we can have our own. It's just
is this easy to do? Is it easy to set up and put together?
Yeah, it is. It's not hard. I did it by when I created my channel. I started out with videos, and then I went to YouTube and watched videos on how to do it. And what I'm doing now is I'm doing through StreamYards. That's the program, and it allows you to live stream through YouTube. And you can do nice things with it. You can do videos. You can have people on.
Wow.
Yeah.
And it's I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's real easy to do. But go ahead.
And the reason why you guys see a man there, and it'll show you how socially inept, that picture has been there for over 12 or 15 years, I think.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and I didn't realize that's not me. That's my a fellow Marine that I worked with.
Oh, you're a Marine. Okay, yeah, I could see that. I see. It looks
no,
like
that's him. Even though, yes, I served in the Marine Corps and I'm a Marine, but that's definitely not me. And
no, I know that's not
how
you.
to get it off. So.
Oh, you don't know how to get it off there.
No. But what I wanted to say, and it's really for me unfortunate that I I guess I'm coming in on the tail end and figuring out live is live. The comments are very interesting and kind of concerning as well, in
Okay.
that I didn't realize I was black until I was 22. So before that, I just thought I was a regular person in the world and all of that. And what I have to offer is, because I hear a lot of people talking about the black culture and all of that, and I wasn't raised, I guess, where you can say typically in the black way, whatever that may be. I didn't know anything about black history. Wasn't taught stay away from white guys don't like you, black guys don't like you. I wasn't taught anything like that. And to actually serve as a Marine for as long as I have or did on active duty, and to hear people talk about themselves, and I'm talking about black women, black people, not being accepted by another entity, that's kind of hard for me to swallow. I know it's reality. I know racism is out there.
Yeah.
I was in Mississippi. I was dropping my son off to spend time with family. He had never been to Mississippi. It was an eye opener for both of us. And I remember I was standing on a golf course and I was talking to this white guy, and there were two black men cutting the grass on the biggest grass cutters I'd ever seen. And both of them almost ran into a tree on opposite sides of the field.
But they were shocked that you guys were talking to each other.
I asked the guy, I was like, are these guys drunk? What's wrong with them?
Maybe they were.
They were not. He was like, no, they're looking at us. And I said, why? And when the guy said to me, and this man, sir, was 46 years old, he said to me that he would really like to ask me out and that he would really like to take me to a movie. He said, however, his family would kill him. I didn't understand that. And
wow.
I said, pardon me? He said, my family, he goes, because of your color and my color. I didn't cling to what could possibly be perceived as negativity or anything like that. I just thought, if a 46-year-old man can't stand in his own shoes and make his own decisions, that's not a type of man for me. And so when people are talking about black, white, love yourself. Be yourself. And don't let some other person, race, object be the determiner of your own value. You have to know to yourself that you are the prize. You are the diamond. And I understand preferences, lighter skin, darker skin. But as Dr. Martin Luther King said, the content of the character, baby, that's what should be shining through. And you could be pursuing that ivory. I don't like to say kings and queens, because to me, that's, my cousin said this to me and I didn't never thought of that. He said kings and queens, he said that's white European shit. And he said we're gods and we're goddesses. And so
actually, no.
That, I was like, wow.
No, there's been kings and queens in different countries. It's not.
Well, dynasties and things like that. Yes, I understand that. But,
they might have not said king and queen, but, you had the pharaohs, and then you had the, there was always some leadership.
Yes. I myself like to know myself as a goddess. So, hey, that's just me. But one of the things that you, sir, have been saying is you have been thanking your wife. You have appeared extremely humble where you indicate you are so grateful that this quality woman, and it has nothing to do with color. She happens to be black. That's what you like. That's what you want. You got your prize.
Mm-hmm.
But in absence of her color, I hear you echoing volumes about the beauty of her character. And she is a woman who happens to be black, a
Mm-hmm.
magnificent, wonderful woman who happens to be black. There are tons of them out there, black, white, blue, green, but you have the one that works for you. And what I'm talking about, it's not just a matter of simply personality. If you like melanin, you know that that's a strong part. That's reality.
Mm-hmm.
And all of those combinations together, plus your sense of loyalty, that's a winning combination because a lot of people do date based on color.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of relationships in general, we're imperfect, but a lot of people don't know that their foundation may be based on one in insecurity. And me, I'm in California, Hollywood State, and the Marine Corps. We did so many divorces you couldn't even imagine.
Yeah.
And people, when they pursue a relationship, sometimes we do know our own agenda. We truly
Yeah.
do. But what I've seen here in this sunshine state, if you will, is these people hook up and I don't know, they might date or even marry for 2 to 6 weeks. I'm sorry, 2 to 6 years. And they got the hand up next, understudy, come on in. And for me,
Yeah.
if someone is dating, especially living together for 10 years,
Uh-huh.
why buy the cow when the milk is free?
Yeah.
We just have to know our own value, know our own worth, and remember, we may be familiar with our experiences in a culture, but they truly aren't everyone's. And we just have to watch out for overgeneralizations because some of the
Yeah.
comments that I've heard some of these women say, um, it sounds like such a put down for women and black women. I just say, ladies, look in the mirror, be confident in your shoes. And if that man don't want you, you should never be with a man who is on your arm, who does not make you feel proud to be you, who
Mm-hmm.
does not support your dreams and endeavors. And remember, true courage in a relationship is telling someone not what they want to hear, but what they need to hear, what you think they
Mm-hmm.
need to hear. Having that courage to do that, because if they love you and you fight and all of that, they'll still be there in the end. There should be
Yeah.
rules of engagement. A lot of people don't understand with relationships, there's more in your head that has to be processed than in your the physicality and sexuality of your body. And
Yeah.
so, that's what I wanted to um impromptu extemporaneously, you know what I'm trying to say, people,
Mm-hmm.
um out to you guys because I didn't know live was live. But when I get my picture situated, uh you'll see exactly who I am. I know you saw a little as I was trying to get it together,
Yeah.
but after I do my stand up, figure out what the heck Instagram is and stop calling Facebook faceplate and get all that stuff
you
together.
know, you know what? I'm behind the times myself. I only got YouTube and Facebook. That's all I've done. I haven't
What
done
else is, I don't
Instagram
even
or
know. You
Tweet
scare
or
me now. If you say that's all you got, I'm scared because you're making me think there's more out there.
yeah, I got a tablet and I have my 5-year-old granddaughter show me how to work it. So that's
I
where
don't know
I'm
how
at.
to do any of this stuff. But what is so fantastic though, now that I've been exposed to this, um, I think social media can be a curse, and it can be the sea of brotherly love where
Yeah.
I'm getting through, I'm talking right now. You are kind enough to be direct. Sometimes people, it's kind of like investing in really good stock. Sometimes people that have that knowledge, they don't want to tell you nothing.
Mhm.
It's not like I'm coming after your stock. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm just trying to make a way to do like you. To me, a lot of you guys, whether you know it or not, you're public servants. You know, you are providing food for thought to the public. And some people, a lot of people, make life changing decisions based on what they hear. Like right now, we are
Yeah.
all diving, we're doing the flow, and people are critically listening. And some people are saying, let her pound sand, that kind of thing. But sometimes there's some merit in this dialogue and discourse. And I cannot wait to be part of the, I guess, social media mix, and get my YouTube, whatever,
Yeah.
up and going, because I think you are an influencer. And, I would love to be more of an influencer, than I am. And so, sir,
Mhm.
I say thank you. And
Yeah.
don't abandon what you're doing, which what I mean by that, choosing select topics, because you're altering, hopefully, the mindset and inspiring courage and getting some of us women to take a harder look at ourselves and what we're putting out there. Because I like when you say pretty much don't prostrate yourself before a man. Be selective.
Yeah.
Don't lower your standards. And some people are so hungry to get a man, they'll do anything. But
Yeah.
you don't want to just get a man or a woman. You want to get the right man, the right woman. You can't make a good spaghetti sauce in like 5 or 10 minutes. It takes some time. And that's how we are as individuals. And we just got to get out there. But
Yeah.
we have
Hey,
to judge ourselves and determine our path on our own, not in the eyes of some man. People should not want to change you to that degree where, say, if you're more conservative, some man wants you to dress like a slut or be silent in conversations, be demure. Us women, we have
hey,
voices, we have opinions, and those should be acknowledged,
yeah.
celebrated, and recognized.
Hey, Mitchell.
Yes, sir.
There's somebody in the chat that says, get her link. I definitely want to
Oh,
follow her
shoot.
channel.
I don't know what link means, cuff
No,
link,
I don't think
Afro
she has
link.
one
I
yet.
don't,
Um,
whomever said that, man, I'm
um,
sorry to cut
both,
you off, sir. Uracha! That's awesome! That's mega, baby. That's awesome. I would love the idea,
yeah,
right? I wish I could screenshot that someone actually wants to follow me. Amazing. Amazing. Thank you,
yeah.
whomever
Um,
had that idea.
hey, guys, both of these ladies are going to have a channel. And ladies, when you do get it, come visit me. Shoot me an email, and I can.
Hey, brother, I'm going to be reaching out to you for some help because,
Yeah, yeah,
I need the ABCs, not, this stuff.
yeah. It's not that hard. I did it watching YouTube videos.
Well,
It's really.
the thing that's kind of on my gun side
Mhm.
is that I'm kind of under pressure. Um, I lost, like a lot of us, suffered through the pandemic. I lost a lot of people. Lost my
Mhm.
mom suddenly, unexpectedly, my brother suddenly, unexpectedly, and my cousin. And I had said, in honor of her life, because she was a woman who, this was an accidental death, unfortunate. her life was not lived. She existed, and it was a not a good life. She chose that. And
Yeah.
I said to myself, in honor of her, I was going to do anything and everything I've always wanted to do. And a
Okay.
long time ago, I wanted to do stand up. I happened to be in this club. Some comedian didn't show up, and I took the mic. The
Yeah.
response I got was tremendous. And I am very partial. I'm just saying that. I love my girls. Women, we can do anything, anything. And so when after I performed that night, I'm going to be at TBS Tavern in San Diego in August after I come back to the US. I'm going to perform stand-up comedy in San Diego for the month of August in honor of my cousin. And even though people think that's my passion is to do pro bono law. That is, comedy is not my passion. But since I promised that I would fulfill that out of her, I
Okay.
shall. And so I have to have the things that you have, like the ladies asking for a link, a channel, and all of that. And
Yeah.
so I got to get
Um,
all that according to you.
yeah.
Up and
When you
running.
get your channel and link,
Yes, sir.
shoot me an email.
Yes, sir.
Both of you ladies, send me an email with the link, and I can put it on. When I do a live show, and
Yes, sir.
kind of let them know.
Excuse
you guys,
me. I'm
Yes,
sorry. Brent, are you sure you're going to want my link to my channel?
I'll put
And
it
man,
out
what
there.
I say to you is my book. I'm gonna be published. The name of my book is called Broken Women. When will you
Okay.
tire of yourselves? So when you say that your channel is gonna be brutal and all that, bring it, baby. Bring it. Because people need brutal, balls to the walls, hard nosed conversation. And
Miss
of course you're
Jones,
gonna
is that
get it in
correct? That's your
return.
name?
Pardon me?
I'm sorry. Your last name is Jones. Is that correct?
My name is Mitchell Samantha Marie Jones, United States Marine Corps.
Okay.
That's
Okay. So you're saying, I'm just interested in, so you're saying, say the book that you're writing again. I'm sorry.
the name of my book is called Broken Women. When will you tire of yourselves?
Hmm. So you feel like some of the comments in the chat is by broken women?
No. I mean, I don't know. I'm just, when you said you're gonna have a channel and
Right.
you said it's gonna be brutal, I'm thinking of truth. And there's some people on here broken, not broken, I don't know. I'm just saying, bring it to the table, have that dialogue, have that discussion, and never refuse anyone. I think this link is a way to advertise or something like that. Never refuse that or deny that. Get that.
Well, my channel is going to be based on the behaviors of Black men throughout history,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
it's going to have, it's going to have a lot of historical facts.
yeah. Great. I'm just saying, just bring it. Anyway, that's all I got, people, sir.
Okay. Well, thanks for coming on. It was a pleasure. Yeah, and I'll check out your channel, ladies. Just send me the link. I'll check it out.
Awesome.
I'm always interested in new channels to, you know. But hey, guys, when you do start it, just keep in mind that the subscriber count is going to be low for a while. Usually it don't just take off. So there's a lot of waiting and hoping and praying and just keep making your videos.
Oh, well, I'm not doing it for subscribers. I'm doing it for other reasons.
Oh,
So
okay.
so
Then don't
that's
worry
not,
about
I
it.
mean, yeah. I mean, if I get subscribers, that's fine.
I see.
It's mine's is about, this is a lot bigger than subscribers. This is all this it I mean, if I get a lot of subscribers, that's great, but I'm not trying to make a living off of this or anything. This is a lot more deeper than that for me. But like I said, there's a pattern in the behavior of Black men throughout history, and that's something that needs to be put out there. That's important because that affects us as Black women.
Okay. All right.
Right. And, I'll get my knowledge probably, sir, from you and you, ma'am, because I don't know anything about subscriptions and stuff like that. I just know as I travel throughout life, people want to talk to me. And so they deem what I have to say as relevant. And in doing my book, people said it's changed their lives, the interviews that I did.
Okay, guys. Hey, thanks for coming on, and I wish you luck on your channels and stuff.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for coming on, and thanks for your point of view and perspective. And I wish you ladies, the best of luck and stuff. And just follow your dreams and stuff. And back to what we're talking about, ladies, opening up your options and go for the best option. Okay. Oh gosh, we got a bunch of people. Claudia and Corey. Hey, welcome.
Hey Brent, how's it going?
Everybody's coming now?
Yeah, I'm trying to shut down.
Oh, I just say hello.
That is too funny. We should have come on earlier. I'm so sorry, sir. Look at it, it's live.
I just want to talk to this guy looking like Don Johnson. I mean, we got a Miami Vice.
Yeah, that's me. I'm hey, this is.
I like the look, Brent. You look wonderful, and I love the decoration. I love how the setup back there.
Yeah, this is my studio here. I did some improvements. I've been working.
I love it.
Yeah, that picture is.
Brett, who helped you design that?
Huh?
Who helped you design that? The wall.
I just hung it up. Well, I picked out the picture. That's a picture of White Sands, New Mexico. The pictures I got on the back wall. That's my wedding pictures of me and Sandy. That's the picture that you guys always see. That's a picture when we're at the Army Ball when I got back from Iraq the second time. The middle picture is me and my son at 23 years old.
Your twin?
My twin, yeah. And then this picture you can't see. This is my Navy. It was I spent 3 years in the Navy before I joined the Army. So I got this when I was in basic training, and it's a picture that our company designed. And then this is a plaque, an Army plaque, and it's got a quote from John F. Kennedy. And all these are my collectibles and stuff. My wife picked out the shelves and stuff.
I love it.
I'm just kind of dressing it up. So when you guys come on and watch the show, you get something more to look at than just the empty wall like I had before. So I kind of, try and give it a good look, trying to get it to look presentable and stuff. And Barbie's life, you need to connect your device to come on. But
I just wanted to come up here and say hello. I'm just going to drop back down. But...
Oh, hello, Corey. Good to see you, sir.
Oh, I see you dropped the link, so they're going to come up and say hi.
Oh, okay. And then Claudia, good to see you.
Good to see you, Brent. Tell Sandy I said hello.
Okay, yeah, I sure will. Yeah, we just celebrated our 28th wedding anniversary.
Yeah, congratulations. I saw that post.
Yeah, it was, it's crazy how fast the years go. I mean, our kids are in their 20s now. Yeah. And
wow.
I mean, we got 2 granddaughters now, so I mean that shows how old we are. I mean, it was crazy. Back in May 19th, 1994, we got married, and man, it seems like yesterday. And wow, the time just flies. But I mean, we've had a blessed marriage and blessed family. There's been ups and downs, you know.
Well,
I
that's
talk about,
natural.
yeah, I
That's
talk
only
about
natural.
it is, and I talk about my life, you know, and it's like we always got through it because the love we have for each other,
Hmm.
and you know, we're just living, you know, our lives. We're happy, and I got 10 more years on this job, then I'm gonna retire for real this time. Yeah.
Okay.
So, but anyway, I just you know, tonight I wanted to talk about, you know, some of the issues we have with interracial dating and why there's barriers and why, you know, we just can't come together. Why we let, you know, and there's a
I
lot of stuff that's been said, a lot of propaganda, a lot of stereotypes and stuff. But
Yeah, I have something to say about that.
yeah,
Um, we all have our different perspectives, and we all have to respect that, and just listen to one another. Because not necessarily one perspective is bad and another one's good, but sometimes our perspective is kind of formed by um, uh, things that we have not experienced, but we think we've experienced because we've seen it so many times in the media or we heard it so many times. And sometimes you just have to sit down and talk if you really care about that person. Sometimes you don't want to hear the perspective. Okay, I don't care. I'm gonna walk away. But if you really care about that person, there should be a place um, where you can sit down and have that safe place where you both can be heard and you feel free to speak your truth. You just speak from your heart. I have a lot of people who come up to me, and I'm like the Black person spokesperson. Like all of the white people and Asian people, and why do Black people do this? Why and I just listen, and I sometimes I find it offensive, and sometimes I don't feel like I'm in a safe space to say what I
no,
truly feel. But if a man and a woman want to get together, there has to be a safe place where both of them can be able to speak their truth and learn from one another. Because sometimes you'll find that, oh wow, my perspective, I don't even know why I have that perspective before. Now that I hear your perspective, I see that it's not really based on anything. So I think that if you're going to go into an interracial relationship, I mean, you're going to have to understand the dynamic of how race is a big issue. It is a big issue, and white supremacy is the prevalent culture, and we have to respect that, and we have to move. And like I'm a Black woman, I know I'm everywhere. I feel like everywhere I go, I'm walking in enemy's territories. I have to be cautious because there's no one going to back me up. If something goes down, that's me. I'm the person who's going to get the brunt of the whole disaster. So I mean, you just have to decide, hey, is this the person? Do I feel safe with this person? Does this person hear me? Does this person make me feel cherished? Then maybe that's the person you can sit down and talk to. Because listen, I'm a Black woman. Every day I deal with racism. Every day someone's going to say, oh, I think she stole something. Oh, they're going to look at me this way and that way. And you need to have that space to be able to talk about it. Because I've heard of some relationships, and actually I saw a CNN documentary a long time ago, and there was this beautiful couple. She was beautiful. He was handsome. Um, I don't know if he, what was, because I was so young when I saw the documentary, but I don't really know the basis of why they finally got to, married. It took them a long time to get married. I remember that. And I was like, oh my gosh, I think it was like 6 years or something. I was like, why? And I just got the impression that his family did, his family didn't like Black people. And eventually, he, married her. They had 2 kids. And then again, his family's voice in the matter came up again. And now he's leaving her, and she has 2 kids from him. And now, she has to go on with, he's giving her 2 kids. Now she has to go live her life as a single mother with 2 biracial kids, where the father, he no longer wants to be involved. So I think, don't get to that point. If you feel like your family's opinion is very important to you, and you don't believe in cleaving to your wife, as the Bible says, then don't go into it. Maybe you need to find you a white woman and, stick with that. And there's nothing wrong with that. I believe everyone has, to make that choice of who they feel comfortable with, who they feel will meet, the lifestyle they want to live. But I just think it's foolish to enter a relationship and not put your cards out and say, hey, this is what's important to me. Hey, this is what I have to deal with in life. Like, yeah, it's uncomfortable for people to talk about racism, but it's hurtful, it's painful, it's dangerous for me to live racism. I live it. I don't talk it, I live it,
Okay.
So it's, there has to be that safe spot. And if that, for me personally, if I can't have that, because I dated a guy, and I remember it was this birthing issue with, because President Obama, he was, being elected or whatever, going into the process. And then Trump came out with this birthing, he's not American. And I was dating a guy, and he was a Trump supporter. And, I heard him out, and, I respect his, choice and, the Trump thing. And I said, oh, I just, it's a racist ploy, and people can't see it. And I believe only intelligent people can see that it's a racist ploy to think that this person cannot be American because they're not white. First of all, this land was a Native American land. So,
okay. Okay. All right. I get what you're saying. Yeah.
Well, I don't want to go into all that, but you have to decide.
Talking about stuff, and racism is there. It is.
Oh yeah.
I think sometimes, and I don't know what you deal with racism, and you say you deal with it every day. Somebody's saying something racist to you.
Well, right? It's if I go into a store, it's like, oh, you watch her. It's not something that is just a theory for me. It's my life. I'm walking on eggshells all the time. So I mean, for some black people, if that's not your truth, that's not your truth. But it's my truth. But I just want to say that for any Black woman who wants to get involved into in an interracial relationship, she should be able to be heard. And if she doesn't feel safe, then I don't think it's a good idea to do that. Because I personally have discontinued a relationship because I didn't feel safe to be heard. Because to me, a relationship is not only a physical thing. That's like almost secondary. For me, it is that you're not going to spend your whole life having sex. that's not how. Most of the time.
Yeah, I mean, and like I always said, if you're not ready for an interracial relationship, don't get into one. Mm-hmm. And
And then I also there was a. Oh, I'm sorry.
There's a what?
Oh, also there's a couple that has a channel, and it's a white man and a Black woman, and he speaks pretty candid about the whole thing. And he says that, women have to be really cautious about what man they get with. And, I think no matter what man you get with, you have to kind of like gauge what kind of character he has by his actions, and you really have to figure out what is his motive for being with you, because just because he's a white man doesn't mean he's a safe man. So there's just like you have.
That's any man. I mean, that's why you vet. That's why you get to know him, because you got to know who he is and what you're walking into, and you got to know, and that's why dating is so important. So important. That's why you got to vet, because you don't know, because if you hop in a relationship, you don't know what you're going to get.
Yeah. Well, and and he says that, some men, they will get with a black woman because they feel like they can be above a black woman. So,
Well, that might be some, but
I'm not saying like I'm gonna say like my stance is I'm an open-minded person. I always take people person by person. I'm not one to categorize everyone as one thing, but I just wanted to speak on. I'm not one to oh, it's echoing or something. But I just wanted to speak on, because I feel like the woman who approached you about this, she has a really good concern, and I just wanted to voice my opinion to her, whoever had posed this question to you. Itemize, honestly, I don't think one man is better than the other one. That woman has to decide what man is good for her.
yeah, that's
But I just wanted to, come on here, and for that woman, whoever that woman was, I wanted to give her that tidbit. If you don't feel safe, if you have something that you feel it makes you uncomfortable, walk away. Just walk away, because there's a lot of men out there. Yeah, you might, it's difficult to find a good man, but hey, you don't want to get involved where you're ending up having kids, or you're in a marriage that you want to get out of, and
oh
just
yeah.
for your
Okay, hey guys, let's kind of keep it down. I know we're all passionate and want to have what have a lot to say, but there's other people coming on and stuff, and I appreciate what everybody has to say. Okay, and we all have different opinions, and that's what makes the world go round. But we try to understand everybody, right? Um, Let me see here. Uh, Barbie's life. Welcome to the panel. Good to see you. Hello.
I've been trying to get in for the longest. I guess I did it
Yeah,
right.
yeah. Sometimes when you don't have your mic hooked up, or your avatar sometimes won't let you in. I've been seeing you, but when it's not hooked up, I can't bring you up. So that's what was going on. But it's good to have you on the panel.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks. How's it going?
Everything is going fine. All the information that you have been giving, is great because it kind of helps the women that come on here to kind of
Uh-huh.
like sit back and take a self-evaluation of self and kind of like figure out before you start to blame anyone, figure out
Mhm.
how you can fix you. Because even like for me, um, I would say that I would like to date someone, a man, a white man, but there are still things that within myself that I'm realizing that I'm fixing, because you
Mhm.
want to go into something anyways and you want it to work and not have it have issues because of things that you have not dealt with. And I
Yeah.
feel like for women, we have to be so careful because we're emotional that we have
Mhm.
to identify that we don't want to be like the black men that are being negative towards black women. And it's not all of them, but in
Mhm.
general, we don't want to use that same energy because when you walk in that energy, you're not going to allow anything positive to come in. I don't believe that you targeting and trying to use your hurt to get back
Mhm.
at someone, I don't feel like it's gonna allow you to go into this blissful relationship that you're wanting, because I hear all the women are talking. They wanna be loved. I wanna be loved. I wanna be in a
Yeah.
relationship where I can feel secure. So I think that if we realize that if we want love, we need to become love so we can attract love. And
Mhm.
the other thing that I've learned in my process is learning how to be in the now. Every experience that we've experienced in the past is there for lessons. And it's not entirely someone else's fault for what we went through because, like you said, some people stay in relationships that are abusive, that are that's not giving onto them, but they stay in because there's a lack within self. that doesn't feel like you can make it without somebody. Because if you have self-esteem, there's a book called Self-Esteem. It has a flower. It's a sunflower. If you read it, it'll break down how self-esteem works. When you have self-esteem, you will not tolerate somebody abusing you, speaking to you in an indifferent way. You will honestly want only what is good for you. So I feel like when I listen to the women sometimes come on here, it kind of hurts me because it's like it's so negative. And it's like, I know when they get off, they're still in that negative place. And you're here trying to tell them that you are beautiful, you are worthy. And I take it in. Instead of trying to be negative, I take in what you say and I repeat it and I use it as
No.
something to validate myself throughout life. No, not remembering what happened, because everyone has a story, but you have to learn how to live in the present so that you can create what you want, because we're constantly creating. We never enter into anything without where we're supposed to be. And that's what I've learned. So I've been on I've been on dates, not really dated people in particular. I haven't found someone that for me is a good thing, but I'm still hopeful. I'm still like, I'm not seeking it. I've learned to relax, to allow it to come. But I know that just for listening to I listen to you all the time, even your replays. And I just listen to the positivity that you're giving. And I wish that when the women come on here, give more positivity, because just like you said, there may be a man in the audience that may be listening and he may want to pursue something with someone on here. So it's positive. We never know who's on here, who's listening. And where women have wombs, we're meant to be mothers, nurturers. We need to create more of a safe haven for each other. We need to love each other. We need to be more positive. And that's just what I wanted to say, because for me, I listen to the messages. I just like to be positive. We know all negative things happen, but we have to not see the negative, maybe turn it around and understand that that was something that we went through. But moving forward with the rest of your life, you can choose to be happy. You can choose to say things will get better. My love will find me. It's possible.
You know what? You're on point, and a lot of times, I've seen it happen where sometimes people bring their hurt, to the live stream, to the channel, and sometimes when you do that, and I'm not saying you shouldn't be able to speak your hurt or your pain, but we have to embrace some positivity. Um, we could sit up here all night and talk about racism and all the evils in the world, and they do exist, but sometimes it wears you down. It wears me down. I know you ladies get wore down hearing about white supremacy. I mean, I do. I'm just like, okay, how can I stop it? I don't have it in me, but how can I control another human being except speaking my truth and talking God's, speaking, scripture and, telling God's word. That's all I can do. But sometimes we need to escape the negativity. Life is so negative. There's so much evil. We could go on all night. But, and I want to tell you, ladies, that you're beautiful. You're a blessing. And I've seen the beautiful in Black women. And I've always embraced that. I've always been attracted to Black women because of that. But things that have turned me away is when Black women come with their hurt and they keep on and on and on. And I get it. I'm not telling you can't say it. But then it's like, okay, then we feel like we're causing this to you. So we kind of pull away. And you might be around a good man that's not racist, but if you keep talking about racism, and I'm not saying you don't talk about it, but feed some positive in there too, because life is not all negative and evil and disgusting. Some days we meet people that love us. Some days we're around people that have our best interest. And yeah, they can be white and Black people can love each other. I see it all the time. We don't have to have, ill will for anybody. And and it's just wearing down when we go negative. And I get it. Sometimes we have to step into it, but we should be able to step out too and say, but this is going on in the world. It's awful, but I'm living my life here and I'm living a good life. And my wife is beautiful and I uplift her. And ladies, you have options and you are the treasure. You are a blessing. And don't let nobody that's a racist or somebody that has hate for you destroy what you have inside. Because you know what? Let them deal with their hate. Let them be consumed in their hate. It'll eventually destroy them. But don't get caught up in it. Live your life. Not anyway. But you know what though? But to be honest though, there's a lot of hurt. And ladies, speak on it, but then again, focus on the positive. Focus on what you have going. Focus on that one that loves you. Because if you live in the negative, it'll consume you too. And then it'll control your life. And you know what? That's what the haters want. That's what the racists want, is they want to control you. They want you to live in fear every day. They want you to be upset every day. They want you to feel like you're less than. They want to destroy you. It's pure evil. Don't let that happen.
I agree.
Okay?
I tell you, I was driving one day just listening to your a replay, and when you was like, "Black women, you are beautiful," I felt it so much. I was crying, and I just thought that's so wonderful. And in a sense, I felt like it was sad because you don't hear it a lot from your own people. But then I still took it, and I was like, you know what, this is good, because we just need people to break the ice, to send out positivity, to show people how to be positive, to within all the negativity, there is good. There is still positivity. Black women, you are still strong. You are still desired. So I took it that way, because I know that I did not want to be in a space where I was hindering myself by thinking negative, by not allowing it, because I've done that for so many years. And you're right. That is what propaganda is. It's to make you believe in things that are not true. And so if we believe that we are not desired, that we're not worthy, that our hair texture means something, then we'll act that way. We'll behave in a way that's unseemly, that's not going to attract. But if you begin to shift the way you think and you begin to see your own self as beautiful, you carry yourself that way, you communicate that way, you speak in your voice, because even with a lot of stuff that we've been through, sometimes some women are very aggressive in their tonality. And it's like, no, you're soft. Be soft. Think about, harness that part of you that you used to be like when you were a child, not all the stuff that you've been through that turned you into this, but who were you before all this happened, and you just become that. Or if you need to find someone, go on YouTube, search out some women that you see showing you how to be more ladylike, how to talk calm. If it's because the aggression, I can't see myself talking to a white man and being aggressive, because I feel like that white man's gonna be like, whoa, she's angry. But if I learn how to communicate and just have more happiness, because that's another thing that I know across the board when it comes to men, no matter what race, where they come from, they like when women are happy. When you smile, when you look positive, that's attractive to a man, because men are the ones that's supposed to be aggressive and have these hard things put on them. And we're supposed to lighten, in a sense, just with our personality. So
that is so true. Yeah. I mean, I come home stressful and my wife, she'll give me a hug and just, that's uplifting. That makes me feel better. That makes me, and we feed off each other, and and that's what it's supposed to do. Us as men are supposed to be this stressed out and come home sore from work and back hurt, and your wife comforts you, and it all comes together, and we get through this together. We lift each other up. Yeah. And ladies, I'll tell you, the most attractive thing is positivity, how you carry yourself. You know, I tell this story. There was this one lady that how she dressed, and people were saying, well, she don't look that pretty. She's not that good. She's okay. But no, I was in love because she was positive. She was confident, but approachable. And I cling to that. And, ladies, when you carry yourself like that, and there was a young lady that came on, Lisa, she comes on every now and then. She's really positive. She really talks positive. You could just feel it. And ladies, that's an attractive thing. When you have that, men cling to that. They're attracted to that. Don't kid yourself. And ladies, and black women, you know how to dress up. You know how to wear clothes and look very professional. And that's attractive. And you know what? Men feed off that. Yeah, we're not in the fashion where we making sure shoes match the jacket in your bag. We're not paying attention to that. But what we are paying attention to is how you carry yourself. And you're well dressed. And I'm not saying you have to dress in the best clothes, but you know, you do it in a stylish way that catches our eye. It's like, wow, she's got it together. I've always heard ladies like men that dress nice. Well, we like it too, ladies. And I believe nobody does it better like black women when it comes to that. And that's very attractive. You add some positivity to it, and you got that confidence, but approachable. Oh, yeah. We feed off that, and it gives us courage. Because if we see a woman that's, carrying herself well, confident, and you can approach her, and you can be confident and approachable. Just because you're confident don't mean you think you're better than nobody. No, you're just confident in yourself and what you do. And that attracts us. It really does. That goes a long way. But anyway, sorry, I'm getting long-winded.
It's fine. We were listening.
Yeah, but I did like what you're saying. Yeah, positivity is I think we got to focus on that and not live in the negative as much. I know it's there, and we can't hide from it either. I think we just need to put that hate in moderation, or the hurt if you can. Focus on the positive too. Say, yeah, I had a bad day. This person treated me bad, but you know what? I got this person at home that loves me, so it's going to be okay. It's going to be all right.
Well, Brent, could I say something really quickly? Because I'm going to leave the channel too. Yeah, so okay. I mean, I don't know when I'm going to have my thing up and running. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't know when I'm going to have mine up and running. I'm going to try to do it in a couple of weeks, but I do travel. But moving forward, my channel is going to be about historical events. A lot of, yeah. So by the way, I wanted to say something. For the last 3 years, I've been studying Black civilization and what has led to the destruction of Black civilization and what has led to a lot of things happening to Black people. And I started to see a pattern of behavior, and a lot of that pattern of behavior was because of what Black men was doing. And this has been a lot of the information and the studying that I have done. A lot of tragedies has been linked to the behavior of Black men. And that is what my channel is going to be on. And so this is, I want to make it very clear. This is not out of hate or out of bitterness, or that's not what my channel is about, because I don't want people there for that. It's about informing them and to educate them. And it's to inform Black women as well, because if we're creating monsters, that also puts a target on our backs as well. That's just really what it is. And some people might do it that way. So I just wanted to say that before I leave. I'm going to stay on for another 10 minutes. I'm just going to listen, and I'm going to move forward.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, I'm probably going to close up here pretty soon. We've been on over 3 hours. I was trying to close and everybody came up, which is a good thing. I love hearing everybody speak. I do. And you know what? And guys, when we come in, and sometimes we have difference of opinions, but just remember, we're in this together. And you know what? Just embrace each other. And that's all I'm going to say. I'll get long-winded again. But yeah, thanks for coming on Pleasures 420. All right. I appreciate it. Barbie's life, it's been good talking to you also. You had a lot of good points. I appreciate that.
Thank you. It was a pleasure. Thank you.
Yeah. And guys, I hope you enjoyed tonight. And I enjoyed the guests coming on. And ladies and guys, if you got hurt, heal first before you get into the relationship, because it'll be better for you and who you're with. Because when it goes to marriage, you got to love that person with everything, with all your heart. And sometimes we bring hurt in, and we create that barrier where we can't really experience love because of that barrier. So, and there's nothing wrong with I had to get help when I came out of the Army, when I had to readjust. We all sometimes have to do that, and it's okay. Am I doing another live tonight? No, J10. I was going to do 2, but I was going to do the prayer meeting, but I just didn't have a message I felt was right. So I need to work on that. And I'm going to do that Wednesday. Give me a little more time. So this will be the only live tonight. I did have a good time tonight. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the guests. Everybody that came on, and I respect your point of view. I really do. And ladies, thank you so much. I'm going to go ahead and close this, guys. I need to get ready for work and stuff. And, I appreciate all of you. And guys, I love you. I do. And I can say that because you are my friends, and you are family to me. I look at it that way. And, I just want to give you a positive outlook on what I've experienced and how we can love each other from different racial groups. We can make it work. We can be successful. We can be that power couple, guys. We can. Black women, white men, you guys are doing amazing things, and lift each other up, take care of each other, and God bless you and your families. And I'll see you guys on Wednesday. Okay, Wednesday I'll be doing another live show, and I'll figure out what the topic is. And, I enjoy having you guys on. This was a good night. And guys, look, there's a little hurt. There's people of different opinions. Just embrace each other. We'll get through this. And, ladies, everything I say about you, I believe in my heart, and it is true. So, have that self-love. Ladies, black women, you are awesome. You are. And I'll say it now till the end of time, till I die. You are first class. You are my first choice, my only choice. And you know what? You look at me and say, you know what? The guy's living what he's talking. So, and I'm not the only one. There's many other men out there. And ladies, don't let the barriers and the stereotypes and the propaganda get you thinking that stuff's true. It's not. Okay. So I just wanted to say that. You guys have a good night. God bless you and your families. And I'll see you Wednesday. Okay. And have a good night. God bless.